make a comparison to keep it on topic. Women are like dogs and cats, right?
Right.
You know, you got that one ornery female when she come up as a pup. You know what I mean? She
Right.
playful. You know what I mean? She a little more nippy than your male, and that's equivalent to women who don't get corrected by their father, right?
Right.
Who
Right.
who infantilizes it. You know, you just barely tap her on the nose. That equates to the father saying, "Baby girl, don't do that," instead of saying, "Hey, you know how we do it, dog. That's pushing. She aggressive, and we know we got to teach this mother not to bite us." You feel me? And that's what a lot of fathers do. They teach their daughters not to bite them, but don't understand you making a vicious animal that you about to release onto the world. You feel me?
Right.
Where
Right.
she don't know no better. So the equivalent to a female that you release like that, when she get off the chain, what she do? You have a bunch of yard accidents. You feel me?
For real.
She biting everything. She don't know how to stop. You can't talk to her. You can't do nothing with her. But go bump. But go work her. You feel me? And that's what a lot of women don't realize. They love to say, well, we are broken, just like Karens. Pit bulls is nanny dogs. They wasn't raised to do this, this, and this. Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, ma'am, we not your father. We not we not your father. We not supposed to be putting up with your foolishness. You feel me? So that's just like me knowing I got a vicious female. I have to make sure she's restrained, she's taught, she's trained. I have 2 and 3 time winners that would still go play with a poodle. You feel me?
Right. Right.
Because the dog knew, hey, I know not to go over here because dude gonna take me and send me to the upper room for some just foolishness. You feel me? Like, so a lot of the time,
Yeah, they got that level of understanding.
right, and toxic women don't because their fathers didn't teach them. You feel me?
Hold on. Dickie Foster with the membership.
I never knew that I would do numbers like this. I make it move. I'm tryna win, ain't tryna lose. I'm tryna win, ain't tryna lose.
Hey, appreciate you, Dickie. Hey,
I like
a guy told me a quote. He said, you could teach a dog how to fetch in like, maybe 2 weeks, or you could teach a dog how to roll over in 3 or 4 days. You could teach him how to sit in 3-4 days. But after all these years, people still don't learn how to treat people with respect, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro.
And you hit the nail on the head, right? And the funny thing about that is a lot of people do. They just refuse to because living in America, we don't understand the detriment of entitlement. You feel me?
Right.
And how it can damage you in all sectors of life. Like it did me like that. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the times people have to realize, okay, my pride in the way. Like I tell when me and my daughter was talking before we got into it, I always told her, never deal with abuse, but don't sit up there and be so entitled the way you wind up by yourself.
Right, right.
Don't ever sit there, because it's just like, a good game dog, she ain't gonna let you hit on her but 1 or 2 times. She feel like you just beating her up. You feel me?
Right, right. She'll accept the discipline. She'll accept responsibility for whatever it is, even if she don't know. Because I heard dogs forget after the first, 10, 15 seconds. Like if a dog does something 30 minutes ago and you try to chastise the dog about that, the dog's not even going to know what the fuck you're talking about. It's not
at all.
You got to correct that shit away.
Their attention span is anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes.
Okay.
So German Shepherds and Poodles, they say, have anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. You feel me? That's why they're more suitable. That's why German Shepherds and Malinois are more suitable for police work, because their attention span. That's the only difference between them and the bite work that bull breed dogs do. It's the attention span. It's it's about the releasing of, it's about the releasing and deployment to a target. You feel me? Bullbred dogs are decimators, right? When you let them go, that's not I want you to finna ward him off. You send a bulldog loose, that means it's over with. You feel me? I'm sending you to down whatever I sent you after. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing. It goes with women. If I don't teach my daughter, right, or my child's mother the right way to show her, then that's the same situation. It's equivalent to it. You feel me? That's why I see a lot of people who don't understand why Floyd didn't have a lot of dogs. He had a lot of dogs, but not compared to Gary Hammonds, not compared to Tom, not compared to Fat Bill.
What did he used to keep, though? How many he used to keep?
They say he used to keep about 10, 15, if that.
See, that's a pretty small yard.
But he would keep them. He would keep them spread out. They say he had multiple yards, but he knew to keep the number down to keep confusion down. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So when you got, that's what the old heads taught me. If you can get away with it, have multiple yards. You feel me? Because it at the time when they knew the situations was coming through, you can't have all them dogs on the yard like that because you know the drill, you know the game. You feel me? It's gonna have issues. You're gonna have somebody in the yard, they're gonna tell it. You feel me? And it's hard to manage and move them around because of the telltale signs to say, okay, they've been worked. You feel me? These dogs been worked. You feel me? So a lot of the times, what I learned from a lot of the old heads, especially the ones in the Bulldog Association, they didn't keep a 15 or 20 dogs. You see what I'm saying? And they were so spread out to where it didn't look like that. And people don't understand that's where the blue pit came from. You feel me? The original gray dog came to throw people off their trail. To say,
But look, man, are we talking about the blue dog or are we talking about the seal colored dog? Because
I'm talking about the gray dog, not the blue dog, not the seal dog. I'm talking about the gray dog with the black nose.
Dog? You talking about game dog?
Yep, the gray game dog.
Talk about it, because this is where I don't know.
Okay,
this is not my expertise, y'all.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you just like this. I got into it with Kwame Winston, right? People don't understand back in the day because a long time ago, I told you I met the last living people out the Holden family, right? Mm-hmm. So they explained to me about the blue paw and about how they used that terrier. And people don't understand he was one of the beginning terriers. So the gray dog does exist, but if you read his work, they called the ones with lavender noses, which are the American bullies today. You feel me? So that means other breeders did not actually call the lavender nose blue dog like they were supposed to. That's why those dogs started popping up, because they're a diluted version of the gray dog with the black nose. You see what I'm saying? Very similar animal, but you have inbred and line bred them so tight to where you turned them blue. Blue eyes. You pulled back certain traits from the bulldog. You pulled out certain traits from the terrier that were just undesirable. That's why the dog has a lavender looking nose, almost similar to its coat. A true gray dog has a charcoal black nose. You feel me? He has coal colored eyes. They are very rare to come by, and most of them had that old school rat tail, and they be game. They be dead game, because if you look, he would 9 times out of 10 never throw himself again because he's an oddity himself. If you look down, majority of them shoot black and white dogs, majority of them shoot seal dogs, and majority of them shoot a solid color dog. You know what I'm saying? That's mainly either black, white, or just jet black. Gray dogs and blue dogs come from jet black dogs. And that comes from constantly inbreeding them. Because Floyd will tell you, it happens in his stuff. If you inbreed his stuff the wrong way, or you breed Tom's stuff the wrong way, you're going to get a great dog out of there. You feel me? You'll get a great dog out of there. But it's because of how long and how many years that those are the most 2 predominant yards that produce that solid black color. Think about it. Who else produces solid black dogs like that? Not a, yeah, not,
Shit. What, you talking about other breeds or just different
I,
lines?
I'm talking about different lines that's produce solid black dogs like Tom Gardner and Floyd Boudreaux.
I mean, that Black Angel shit, you know, that was a
Trace
lot of
back, trace back to Floyd.
yeah.
See what I'm saying? Those are the only 2 yards that had that predominant color, and I don't never could understand because it's just like the American bully people. People don't understand the game dog. People lie to sell stuff. You feel me? This is why I'm not liked in the dog community because I tell the truth. They'll lie to sell stuff too. They'll take, oh, no, I ain't got nothing. If you inbreed Skull or Blind Billy the wrong way, you're gonna get a gray dog out of there. You feel me? You're gonna get a gray one, not a blue dog, but a gray one. And that don't mean the dog ain't game. A lot of people that took these blue dogs and tried to work them and don't realize that is a blue paw coming out of that dog. That is bulldog coming out of him. That is Neo coming out of him.
Do you think they crossed that up in there, the blue paw in there?
Yeah, they crossed the blue paw in there because the lady that told me at the time back in the early 2000s those dogs were still game. You feel me? Those were still some of the best ratting dogs. That's why people love Mr. Paul. You feel me? That's that man's name is Paul. They loved his line. That's just like I can compare it to the bull and terrier, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know Spud McKenzie. Remember, we grew up on Spud McKenzie, right? That's the most famous bull and terrier we know.
Right.
Look at the shape of his head and his ears. True game dogs, what do their ears do? Go straight up in the air, right? Most game dogs, think about the older
You
bloodlines.
talking about like the rat ears?
Yeah, the one, the bat ears.
The bat, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Come on. That's a huge generalization, though.
Nah, think about it. Go look at some of the lines. Go look at some of their original lines. You feel me? Go look at some of go look at the original lines and then follow them down to Floyd and Floyd in our generation to where we started admiring the dogs. And you're gonna see what I'm talking about. Because when I saw it, bro, I called every dog man in my phone. You hear me? I said, y'all got some explaining to do. Go look at Ciroc pictures of bull and terriers before 1950. Oh yeah, I love your commercials, cuz. Your
We
commercials.
keeping it going. We keeping this shit going.
Hey, your commercials hard as hell.
Keeping it going.
Hey, your commercials hard.
We keeping it going. We keeping it going. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it going. I told you, when you get 2 powerful brains connected up, man, something's gonna happen, man.
Yeah, and it's like
2025 is looking bright.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting dressed now, so I go get so I take my master. That's why a lot of people like, Floyd called me a while back, like about 10, 15 years ago, when I was really on that story about Blue Dog. He had his grandson cuss me out. He said, man.
I heard those myths. I heard they was having those dogs, and this before I even talked to you. But I just never dug into it because that really wasn't my bloodline of choice.
Right. And they're very swift dogs from what I heard. And they were closer to the terrier that they wanted because that's what was the cross to make the bull and terrier. When William Courtney came over here with Pilot, they would tell you Pilot was a bull. They would tell you Pilot was not a pit bull. He was still registered as a bull and terrier. William Courtney changed and made the name Pit Bull. Because if you think about it, that is the dog's job. That is where he went. That's where he worked. He worked in a pit. He baited bulls. So William Courtney thought about it. You feel me? I might as well call this pit dog, which is a bull and terrier, a pit bull, separate away from the bull and terrier, which was the Isles dog. You feel me?
Right.
The Isles dog is what they separated from. The original game dog is the original game dog in itself is just an inbred bull and terrier. You feel me? It's just an inbred worked down bull and terrier. Because this is why the Kobe's, if you look at the torsos on their dogs, they can say the same torso with a bulldog. Look
Right.
at the torsos on your dogs. They share terrier torsos. Your dogs are closer to the actual game dog. You feel me? The actual dog that they separated from the bull and terrier. This is why, if you think about it, say early 2000, what it was, 2007, that shit with Vic, that's when they started getting more history about the dog from overseas. Because they were finding that his breeders weren't all here. He had got dogs from overseas too. So, and they was wondering why they don't, like, majority of countries, they don't call these dogs pit bulls. You know that they call them bulldogs because that's what they are. They're bulldogs with a terrier lineage. They're not terriers. America's the only one that calls them terriers, and you know who gave them that title? The AKC. The AKC started calling them pit bull terriers. They always been the name of pit bull, bulldog. That's why the sport is called bulldog. There ain't nothing terrier about these dogs but their lineage. When you start seeing these wiry looking dogs and say what, I think OG Loco got something down in his line and he even spoke on it because, I follow him on Facebook too. You feel me? And he spoke on how he noticed a lot of inbreeding. He could see the terrier phenotype start to come out versus the bulldog phenotype. Because if you look at Macho Buck, right?
Right.
Macho Buck got a lot of bulldog traits. You feel me? That thick ass muzzle, thick ass ears, thick shoulders, thick forearms, thick pasterns. You see what I'm saying? You go take what I used to do in high school. I used to cover up the head and the neck, right? On the pictures of the dogs and just compare torsos, compare forearms, compare pastures, compare paws. And if you look at it, you would be like, wait, hold on. You feel me? That's just like Lou Kobe. The reason he would always whoop John's butt, you knew he was throwing cane corsos in his dogs. They was real tight with the Versatilitys when they first came to America.
Right.
So a lot of these dogs, I be trying to tell people, a lot of game dogs, when you got a yard like yours, boy, you better hold on to that shit. You hear me? But you better hold on to that shit. I tell people like you all the time, not run into that had good yards and good blood. Stay in your yard, call what you need to call, but breed to your own shit. You feel me? That was always the point of the pit bull terrier. You feel me?
Right.
It's a well inbred bull and terrier. People call me crazy when I say that, but if you look at the back ears, go compare the older pictures, because you do know the boxer in America is got pit bull crossed into it.
Right.
That the pit bull outside the American Indian dog was our dog, and people don't understand why I had so much knowledge of it. I'm a Garrett. That's how my family got out of slavery. You feel me? My last name is English and Irish. We got sent over here on the boats with the old family red-nosed dogs. Bro, when I did my ancestry and I'm sitting up here seeing slave pictures of my family holding bulldogs, bro. You feel me? I'm like, this is crazy. But my grandmother always told me, she said, you got a long history in your life on both sides of dealing with dogs. And she's like, your father's side is mainly why you love them pit bulls so much. And she the one laced me up back in the early 90s, bro, about dogs and started showing me and put me on stuff and put me around family and showing me dogs and going to Louisiana where my grandfather was from, my dad's dad, you know what I'm saying? He was born in Slidell. That's where Floyd lived. You feel me? So a lot of people don't understand when I go to tell you some shit about dogs, I show you where to go look. Like, bro, go look up the blue paw. You feel me? Go look up the blue paw and you're gonna be like, hell nah. Cause even in that old ass picture, that dog's got a black nose. You feel me? Literally has a black nose. Anything outside of our old family red nose, dogs are not supposed to have them liver spots to where it's pink right here, black here. You know what I'm talking about? Them liver spot noses. That liver nose, that liver purple nose, if you ever notice them dogs that don't have solid color noses, they always got skin problems. They got skin problems. I tell people all the time, even with old family red nose, you want that maroon, almost blood-looking color nose. You gotta watch that hot pink shit. You feel me? Because them dogs with that hot pink nose, they have some of the driest skin. You feel me? You could feed them up fish oil pills, but it comes down to certain dogs, the certain lines that they come off of, and understanding what that line was mixed in, especially if you see different traits changing from the dog as far as physical and aesthetic appearance. Like if you look at your yard, G, you could see it. You feel me? You could see the look. So I know, okay, I'm getting something from Kraken. You feel me? I know that he has a look. OG Loco has a look. Tom Gardner has a look. You feel me?
Hey, salute OG Loco, man. He been doing a damn good job with it with his dogs, man.
And then he be dropping knowledge now.
I
You
give
hear
him
me?
that, man.
He done got somebody showed, bro. When I found out he was on Facebook, I said, oh, somebody done showed this motherfucker how to use Facebook. You hear me? I said, yeah. I wish somebody actually showed Tom how to use Facebook the right way. You feel me? Because he'll hop on and he really don't want to talk unless you pay him and all this other shit. And I'm like, bro.
Damn, he be doing that?
Yeah. Tom don't play.
Yeah.
He a cool dude, but Tom don't play. Tom be about his money. He said something back in the early 2000s to me when we went to a bulldog meet, right? Teddy Bulldogs cost. I never questioned that man again. You hear me?
So at what point is it for the love of it, and at one point is it just for the money? Because I could imagine, I'm not saying that's him, but I could imagine that, you could kind of get wrapped up in the money and just kind of forget about the love for the dogs,
He is one of the, and I don't like counting a man pockets, but he is kind of the only one of the yards when it comes to game dogs that actually makes real money. You feel me?
Right.
Because of just because of the name he made with Chinaman. You feel me? He made a damn good name with Chinaman, and he had a hell of a run when all of the dog men that we hold dear to our hearts, look up to, study, dislike. He damn near whooped all of them with Chinaman. You feel me? So it's like, and then you had one of the best producing dogs, Frisco. You feel me? So he had two dogs would put him up there just like Bond Bill and Skull. And only reason I say Floyd has a little more threshold over him is just because Floyd's older. You feel me? But when it comes to better yards, I'm gonna take Chinaman over Floyd any day. You feel me?
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna take time. I'm gonna take time over Floyd any day.
What about Frisco? Are you taking Frisco? I mean, I know he's Chinaman, but are you taking Frisco himself? Because I heard people, they want the Chinaman shit without the Frisco. I heard a lot of people say
that. Frisco make good bitches. You feel me? That's it. You want a good, decent broad. The problem is with Frisco, he has the blood just got an issue turning on. You feel me? You really got to know what you're doing to have a Frisco dog and get him to turn on. You feel me? They're more. That's where he lost his lackluster with Frisco. You feel me? But where everybody patted him on his back, he bounced back. You feel me? Because it's just like Frisco was kind of, like the only issues I would ever, like I said, I had with Frisco. I think he was 2.5 before he cut on. You feel me? I think you see what I'm saying. Would you want to wait that long? You see what I'm saying? Like, and
a lot of them damn Bujo dogs is like that too, though. I hear
Bujo
just take a longer to come around. I
yep.
mean,
You ain't lying. Whoever told you that one lying to you, they was not lying to you, G. The thing is, though, you got to realize with him, what decade of his yard do you have? You feel me? That's the problem with him. He has so many dogs to sift through. You don't know what era you're getting. You feel me? Because he's had errors to where he'll tell you he just didn't have shit that year. You feel me? He just didn't have nothing.
You see the whole year? That's
Man, look here, bro.
crazy.
It's been some times where he didn't have
That's
shit for you.
nuts.
But it happens when sometimes when you don't go out your yard. You feel me? And then you just pile on, pile on,
So
pile
is it
on.
just about what is it about though? Is it about the money? Is it about I'm just trying to figure it
He
out.
don't want. He never wanted his sauce out there. You feel me? His ratio, when you really breeding dogs and got yards, his ratio was always in the high 70s. You feel me?
Because one thing I will say about those Maurice Carvers and all those guys, like they'll definitely go outside to
Mm-hmm.
get whatever the hell is best at that time. I think that was a trend more of just trying to, I mean, I get it, you know, this is America, you know, everybody's trying to level up. You see, you see people in good positions, you know, people trying to line their pockets, but
Yeah,
as a consumer, you kind of want to know, it's like, okay, is this yard actually into the good traits and the competition of this thing, or is it just like a let me just
they
get the
were
money grab?
they were when they were younger. You feel me? Ah, yeah. I see the work back there. Appreciate the love, boy.
Oh man.
Yeah, and it's like it's something when I talked to them when I was younger and just like so how about it. They told me that's what used to make them be like, ah, yeah, I like this kid. Cause I still had that spark in my eye like they did. You feel me?
Right.
Like you couldn't like I'm getting back in, like I told you, I talked to you, I'm getting back into it. I just gotta get back down south. You feel me? Like you really can't do it up here because so many Karens in Minnesota. You feel me? Way too many Karens. If that mug, I couldn't. That's why my cane course so fat right now. You feel me? You can't.
They on you. They on you
Yeah.
about it.
The minute they'll thing, like I'll let him touch something. You feel me? I'll let him touch something. If I tell him, well, if you
They
got
got
a
to get a
2.5.
hold of one of these APBT magazines. That's what they got to do. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man, and that's what
It's gonna
I be
enlighten
teaching
them.
people. I
It's
tell
gonna
them,
teach them about the breed. It's gonna show the dogs and down to that weight in a positive light. You know what I'm
yup.
saying? So you're not
I,
over here delusional
I
about what the
love
fuck
to.
is going on or about what this treadmill's for. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
Because
I tell people,
that's what it's about.
I
You
gotta
feel
tell
me?
people, if you look at me, right, I ain't CT Fletcher or Jay Cutler, but I damn sure ain't Bruce. You feel me? So
Right.
I I like a conditioned dog. You feel me? Cause he could get up, go run with me in the morning. You feel me? I could slap him to something, go work him out. Like, bro, when I be outside during the summer working out, you know what he be doing? I get him a rag, a tag to a brick with a tugging rope. You feel me? Put a chain to it. And that's what he doing, dragging around the whole apartment complex, bro, in the back where the dogs be at. 2 cinder blocks just working while I'm bench pressing. You feel me? And he know all my dogs have always known that. Like people lost it because they lost the love to want to work on it and actually tell a motherfucker put your money where your mouth is type shit. You feel me?
Right.
Like what you want to do? Cause that was the point. You feel me? You talking all that? We gonna be candid for a minute. I could walk up on the yard, right? Say I'm going to a confirmation show, chicken chilling, networking. I done seen it. Man, he doing a lot of talking in that crate. You hear me? My motherfucker might walk by and rock that motherfucker. You know how they do. You feel me? Mother might walk by, he might rock that motherfucker, get to crying. And it's always that one silent cat. They got that one silent creeper. You feel me? It's
Mhm.
how it always go down. Man, you doing all that talking. What you want to do? Hey, what you want to do? Shit, it's over here by 4, 5. Yeah, over this way. Yeah, and no issues. And that's what they missed about it. You feel me? You can pull up to them. You can pull up back in the day, no motherfucking ADBA show, and your shit wild or not and acting up. They said, we want to see you press that throttle. You feel me? Let's go press that throttle. Let's go get on the racetrack and see if it can really run. You feel me? The motor sound good. Motor sound good as hell over there. You feel me? But that's where the love got lost. You feel me? A lot of people don't understand traits that would need to be bred for no more. Like you said a few minutes ago. You feel me? What traits are y'all breeding for? Are y'all, because it's just like for a minute, you know what made me step away from the game, dogs? Because they started
What?
breeding for a name. You feel me? Oh yeah, I got Macho Buck. Yeah, I got Termite. I got 3-time, 4-time Turtle Buster. I got Blind Billy over here. I got Patrick's over here. I got Hammonds over here. You feel me? And I'm like, a lot of them people, y'all didn't realize I was talking about terriers. Shit, Billy used bulldogs real bad. You feel me? Bob did too. Maurice Carver and all them people don't understand. Them were students of Floyd Boudreaux's and Earl Tudor's. You feel me? What made Floyd, from what I was told, stand up, he ran in the Earl Tudor when Tudor was still in his prime and made him go sit down somewhere. You feel me? So you mean to tell me Louisiana ran into Oklahoma? You was running in all these states? I'm like, Jesus Christ. You feel me? You ran in all these states and he was knocking them down. But if you even look at Don Mayfield, he'll tell you about the times where it was just years the game was lackluster. Look up some of them. Look up some of them the Mayfield tapes. You feel me? Don Mayfield, that's another man that could condition the hell out of dog that don't get enough credit. You feel me? Don Mayfield don't get enough credit, and a lot of people labeled him a snitch. That's why a lot of people discredit Don Mayfield. So that's what got him.
Snitch. Hey, man, that's a hell of a jacket to have, man.
Man, but he was releasing them videos back when it was. You see what I'm saying? He kind of, now it would have been different if he was still alive. You feel me? Now it would have been different. He was talking before social media, bro. You hear me? He was talking before social media.
But everybody don't live by that code, man. I realized, like, we're just on the snitch topic. You know, everybody, like, I can't really, because I get caught up in that. I think that everybody got to live by the code that I live by. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's why I had to, but see, we grew up, we had to understand that. You feel me?
There are more snitches in the game, I think, because it's accepted. It's clearly accepted.
Accepted, Yup. And it's the thing is, I looked at them old heads, it's accepted as long as you don't tell them. They don't care what you do, just don't tell them. You feel me? And see, that's what a lot of people don't realize. A lot of y'all was running around and not realizing how the laws had changed in the 80s. You feel me? Early 90s. That's what got a lot of y'all messed up. Cause y'all was in y'all primes, leaving y'all primes. At the time the dogs was trying to come back. You feel me? Cause think about it. Read the story about Art, right? You know Art Crunchfield, right? One of the baddest dogs they ever touched. Even his breeder and owner tell you it was years where the dogs was just lackluster. You feel me? A lot of them times when you see them double-digit numbers by a dog, a lot of the times they be overinflated, or at the time he was running, he didn't run into nobody. You feel me? Yeah, they sanctioned. Yeah, you got the dog, but that was really that dog only race. You feel me? You didn't run into homers. You didn't run into no arcs. You didn't run into no tabs. You didn't run into no Bridgets. You didn't run into no mountain mans. You feel me? That's another man too. Don't get another credit, mountain man. You feel me?
Hold up. Itchy blew up the spot with the $50 holler, 2 magazines, 2 whoever.
I never knew that I would do numbers like this. I make a move. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose.
Hey,
Yeah,
man, appreciate you, Itchy.
Yeah, man. It's just, I always been a historian of the breed. You feel me?
That's right.
Like, I look up both sides because I don't choose sides because it's like I just want to know about my favorite breed of dogs. I love bull-bred dogs, not just pits. I love staffs, Frenchies, bulldogs, boxers, cane corsos, bull masters, borobles. I love the bulldog kingdom. You feel me? And it's like when you get down to the game dog, it was an industry that our grandparents ate off of. I never forget sitting and listening, talking to my granddaddy because he was an avid hunter. I grew up with game dogs and German shepherds on there, not game dogs, but German shepherds and hunting dogs, right? With my mom's dad. And he would tell me about my grandpa on my dad's side with the game dogs. You see how dogs just been in my life, my entire life. Like, so I had no choice but to learn it. I know a lot about hunting dogs, German shepherds, but I chose pits and bulldogs is because my grandfather, my mom's dad, sat me down and told me about my dad's dad and his dad and their dad, right? And he was like, that reason you ain't got no problem going down here. Bro, they got a picture of me punching up at 5 years old because they thought this German Shepherd of my grandfather was going to bite me. I'm 5 years old. And I cocked back and punched him in his nose and walked right past the dog. You feel me?
Right.
And my grandfather told my mother, he gonna be just like me in James. You feel me? He gonna be just like James. He gonna have them pit bulls and shit speed up almost 50 years later. That's what I got, bulldogs. You feel me? I'm not a hunter. I don't need them. I'll go hunt boar, you feel me? But I'd rather bring the catch dog. You feel me? You can bring the bay dogs. I don't like bay dogs. I want something when I know if he get loose, you do. And that was the point.
Hey, I saw this situation. A dude was running through the woods. And because on my feed, I get all kind of crazy shit. I guess once you watch one crazy video, they just feel like you want to see them all. So
right.
I saw this dude, he was running, and the dog had him at first, but then it was a big ass goddamn hog too. That motherfucker was big. And it was chasing dude, knocked him down, jumped on him. Dude had to jump on him. The dog wasn't helping out at all. The dog was not helping out at all. I think that's a problem. At least if the dog can't get him, at least distract this motherfucker so he's not trying to get me. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, he would have been, look here, man. Back in the day, man, my grandfather's would have humanely took him out back. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They would have humanely took him out back because wasn't no time, even as a hunting dog. You feel me? My grandfather had black and tan coonhounds. My mother's father, that wouldn't have been none of that. Them black and tan coonhounds would have got on him. Them blue ticks would have got on him. Like you said, they'd at least bit him, distracted him, barked, chased him. You feel me? You wouldn't have sat there and got down like that. You know what I mean?
Hey Vito, you going in the mail today? You going in the mail today? I got you screenshotted on the joint. As soon as I get off here, I'm up to the post office, man. Appreciate the support.
I'm gonna have to grab me one too.
Hey man, we appreciate it, man. We're just trying to keep it going, trying to keep the lane open.
Yeah, I'm gonna
get some good stories, and everybody could come together and make this a success.
Yeah, I gotta tell people, a lot of people get mad at me in the dog world because they'll be like, "Oh shit, here he come." You feel me?
Right.
Shit. Cause I asked both sides. Right? Like when you go back, like I tell people, especially when you talk to the Crenshaws and you talk about Jeep, they'll tell you real quick, Jeep was a hell of a dog, but he's got more legends than he does truth. You feel me? And I'm like, what you mean? That's like when he remember his race with Homer?
Let's back, but let's back up though. Let's back up because we was just talking about blue dogs, right?
Well, put it in reverse. Talk to me.
And because I'm not going, because I want to know.
Talk to me.
So these dog. Okay, let's say they do got these lineages and shit way back. The Corcorans and all the
right.
those dogs, you know, the Kobe's, you know, let's say that it had those in the lineage and that shit pops up every now and then. We know how that goes. Do you think, because I got to ask this question, I don't want to make it leading toward a certain camp, but do you think that, okay, so we can't dictate what happens to the genealogy before we get them in our hands, but do
Nope.
you, in the modern day, that there were dog men that were going back to that shit, adding it to the blood in like the modern day, let's just say 19
Modern day,
on
modern day, no. You feel me? Modern day, no.
okay.
When you get around about the 70s, the 60s, 70s, 80s, especially the 60s, they was calling the hell out that. You hear me? They was calling them. That's why you don't see them as much now. You feel me? Because they did their best to
Oh,
call
so the
them.
ones that came out with those traits, they were culling them.
Yep, they were calling them quick.
But they
You hear me?
weren't adding
Nope.
blue paw and shit in the 60s
No,
and
they were trying to take it out. The 60s, 70s, and 80s took the blue dog. They did their best to take the blue dog out. You feel me? So it's like, I'm gonna give you an instance. Say you got two dogs, right? You got two black dogs, and you've been inbreeding them. You're on your last litter, and you notice this gray dog, right? You call him and just only keep breeding and breeding back to them black dogs. Eventually, you'll produce black dogs that won't produce that gray dog anymore. You see what I'm saying? So,
hey, students for life, he said, man, can I get, hey, the first one to text me gets the free mag. First one to text.
well, y'all better touch it. He don't make offers like that.
I ain't gonna put the number back up there either. Hey, I ain't putting the number up there either. First one to text me get the free mag.
He don't even make offers like that. I better get the texting.
Hey, first one to text me get the free mag.
Hey, y'all better get the text.
Life. What up, brother?
Yeah, it's like a lot of them. I'm gonna tell you who was big on calling them, Floyd. Boy, he see a great dog, he going in that water bucket. You hear me? That puppy going in that water bucket. Because he knew eventually when you keep crossing black, it's gonna turn gray.
Oh, somebody get the free mag.
Somebody dump that number.
708. I ain't gonna put your shit out there. Okay, RBG Lone Wolf. Just send me the info. I'm gonna put it in the mailbox today. I got you.
That's some real shit, Craig. Hey, but that's what I told him with the blue paw.
Let me get another one, man. Let me get another one. Let me get one more text. One more text.
That's
one more text. I ain't gonna put the number up there because you got to save the number in for these type of perks.
Right.
Let me get one more text before we get back cooking.
Let me see something. See if I got
one more text for the free magazine.
Since we own this blue paw shit, let me see something. You know, I like giving correct history and shit.
Uh-oh. Melee. Hey, Melee, there you go.
Hey, you know
I got you, bro.
You know we love the word free in America.
I got you, bro. Now, what's gonna happen? You're gonna be able to share it with somebody else. It
word of mouth.
Even if I gave them all out for free, you know, which is economically impossible right now. But if I did, man, that motherfucker will fly like a motherfucker, man. I appreciate the brother that extended that offer, though. You know what I'm saying? Itchy, my boy Itchy.
Okay.
Extending that offer.
Okay, hold on, let me see something. Okay.
Let me see. That 336, drop your address, bro.
Let me see something.
I got you. Drop your address.
I'm trying to see what it let me turn this camera around so I could show you something right quick, but it's only letting me.
Let me get it back up here. Hold up. All right, here we go.
Let me see. I'm trying to. Okay. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. Now look, the blue paw, when they did it to separate it, right? They basically, here you go. Here go the original blue, the last blue paw. Here go that picture, the last blue paw. This was Scotland's version of the dog. You feel me?
Right.
This was Scotland's version of the pit bull, basically. You feel me?
Yeah.
Okay, here you go. There you go, right there. This is the dog. See it?
Oh, I got you.
So you dig what I'm saying? You see how you see how it could be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all about, it was all about the look.
But them joints was cropped though, bruh.
Yeah, bro, you know they never
Those
cropped the ears. You
Those
just
were
cut.
docked. Those were
That,
I think
yeah.
they call that docked.
Yeah, they was cropped. They was cropped for hell no, they're not cropped. Them sitting straight up. Them bad
Really?
ears. Yeah, them bad ears.
Gotta
Them not
look at
cropped.
that.
Yeah,
It
them
won't
bad.
let you share. It won't let you share on the thing, huh?
Nah, I was trying to. Like, and then too, them bad ears, you could crop them bad ears too, because you actually, when you do a crop, you're just cutting off the pain sensor in the dog. You feel me? That's why a lot of people like to crop ears, is because their pain sensor is to the is to that back part. You feel me? So that's why a lot of the times they is like, man, it's gonna get chewed on anyway. You feel me? So just take it off. So that's what a lot of the time that came from. A lot of people's like, oh, it's just to make them look tougher, it's for fighting. No, they have a bad nerve sensing right there. You feel me? When you go outside for shits and giggles, right? Take your thumb, you'll see what I'm talking about. Stick it in their ear, right? Not by the cavity, but in the middle part of the ear. You feel me? And give it one tug. Watch how the dog turn around and look at you like he want to kill you. It's just, that's why I never could understand people who really get on, why they keep the ears. You feel me? I never could understand that. That was another reason that they liked it, the bad ear, because the dog could control it and push them down to their head. You feel me? So it was harder for the dog to grab. You ever notice when certain dogs get worked up, they put their ears in this rose position, kind of looking like they're putting their legs together in the back of their head, but it's with their ears? Those were the dogs that they really didn't want to crop, because the dogs had more control over their ears and they could pull and move their ears around. You have some that deaden their ear to where it has no control over and it's prehensile. So that's why a lot of people start saying, you know what, the ones that can control their ears, move their ears, and a lot of them added certain hounds in to make their ears flop down. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like look at Macho Buck. Look at Macho Buck take his head off, right? Take his head off and go look. Go look and look at some hounds. Some hounds, people call me crazy. Some hounds got pit bull in. You feel me?
That's right.
It's another reason they call them hounds. Some people call them hounds because a lot of people don't understand breeding. I could take my cane corso, right? I could take a female out your yard, breed her to my cane corso, right? I'm gonna take that puppy that resembles what I want to look like. Say one pop out look just like the mom, right? What I'm gonna do, if it's a boy, I'm gonna take her back to the mom. See what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna keep going back until I get the desired traits I wanted from that cane corso, which is basically his fang, his head density. Stop. You feel me? A lot of people knew how to take traits from a dog, put it in there. You feel me? And the only way you ever get back out, you're gonna have to really seriously inbreed that dog again, because they knew what to do, how to get the traits they needed. Look at the tails on a lot of these new dogs. Look at the tails. Casino, Buck. Tell me y'all ain't been looking at some of these tails here lately on these dogs in these game yards. Tails sticking in a broomstick.
Yeah, I seen something right there.
I'm talking about.
Would you how much does that play a part in the quality of the animal though? I seen a lot of dogs. I used to call them gimps. Like they was good ass dogs, but they wasn't by no stretch of the imagination.
Hey,
like
you would take
standard.
this nigga for real. I remember my old heads of Port Arthur calling them niggas gimps.
Yeah. I don't know
Hey,
why. I don't know how I can't. I mean, obviously I heard it be said, but I don't know. You know,
that's
it
that
was
that
crazy.
that's Louisiana and Port Arthur, Houston,
Okay.
Galveston
Okay.
talk right there. You feel me?
There we go.
That's how you used to get them niggas back in the day.
You
You
said,
really
hold
wanted to
on.
get them to stand up. You wanted to really get them to stand up. Man, that Jip, that Jip ain't gonna do that. What about that old Gimp over there? Gimp? I saw you a Gimp. Come on here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I used to crack out back in the day.
And they'll keep that motherfucker. You'll see a ugly ass dog on a good dog man's fucking yard, dog.
But
Ugly
that,
motherfucker.
but that
We talk.
You
motherfucker
know.
up.
Hey,
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 And
bro.
he
I mean,
be throwing. That motherfucker throw the beautifulest dog you ever saw.
and would send a dog to the upper room. You hear me? Well, send something to the upper room too.
say,
Man.
hello.
Yeah, what up, Casino Life?
Oh, I didn't know you could hear me. I was trying to see, y'all talking about, because I heard him saying something about a cane corso, like mixed with a pit bull. Like, I'm trying to understand what we talking about. Like,
We talking about breed. We talking about breed. I'm talking about being able to breed traits and looking at the lineage, how these dogs have changed, because we talking about the blue paw right now. And Buck and basically Kraken was trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, where these blue dogs was coming from. A lot of people don't understand that they're in these dogs. You feel me? They're not staffies. That staffies and game dogs are the same dog. One is just heavier than the other one, and one is just more or less likely to cut on unless it's put under pressure. A true game
okay,
dog, don't have to be put under pressure. You feel me? I gotta tell
right.
people, if you got a true game dog litter and they still together at 12 weeks old, you ain't got no game dog litter.
Mm.
You don't. If you can't,
I don't believe that.
I'm telling
I
you
don't
something I don't know.
believe
Go ask
that.
your old favorite game dog, man. I would go post it on Facebook to my
I
cousin.
ain't gonna
He'll
lie.
tell you.
That's what my mentor told me too, though.
If you still got
My
all them
mentor told
puppies
me that.
living together,
The dog turning on at 12 weeks has absolutely nothing to do with the dog's
cracking,
game.
cracking. I had a dog at
Absolutely
9
nothing.
weeks old take out his whole litter. I'm at work. And you know I ain't gonna pull your leg. I'm at work. I had a 9-week-old puppy take out his whole litter.
That did not have anything to do with that dog's gameness, though.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you people,
That same dog that could take out his fucking 8-week-old sibling could stop in 15 minutes at fucking
but the
28
thing is
months.
though, you got to think though, like
You know what I'm
you could do
saying?
it. Nah, you could do it
That's
for the
a
simple
fact,
fact.
though. That's
No,
a
hold on.
fact.
I'm gonna tell you why you able to keep your dogs together, bro. You like OG Loco. Y'all touch our dogs so much, our dogs know better. You feel me? You touch your dogs a lot. You feel me? Bro, name one time that you don't. Like, bro, you so hands-on and good with your shit, it's different. Like, when you could really say breed a dog and you don't come outside to see them puppies getting it, that always was one of the old school ways of showing what you had in your yard. If, like, that's just me. Because that's just like with my partner, even with the cane corsos, bro. He couldn't keep them puppies together after a while. He had to separate them. You feel me? He had to
The
separate them.
you know, I got these two dogs named Canelo and Jewel. They're litter mates, right? Bred old school. Like, we ain't even we ain't even know what the fuck. We ain't know how many puppies we had. We ain't know what gender they was. We didn't touch them puppies. We ain't do shit to them puppies till they crawled out on their own. Like, we ain't never see them shits till 6 weeks. You see what I'm, like 5 weeks, them shits came crawling out. We ain't even see them motherfuckers. We let the
Yeah.
mama raise. We let the mama do the whole thing.
Oh, okay, bet. My bad, Buck. I just got that. My fault, Buck. I just got your text. My fault, G. You gotta start looking, man. You gotta start telling me to play by play before we go do this. Cause you know I get the goddamn talking. Uh but yeah, man, when you do it, cause like let me tell you, Buck, who used to get mad with me about that and say that same old shit, my granddaddy. Hey, that don't mean cause boy, before he left up out of here. He said, man, let me see that puppy. When I tell you, I put that puppy in there, bro, and he, I'm talking about, it started out over a bowl of kibble. You hear me? Or a little toy, a little stick. Next thing you know, I seen every trait that I bred that dog for in that puppy. You feel me? So I knew not to curve him, not to hit him, not to let nothing jump on him. You feel me? Because he showed me at an early age, you got what I need. You feel me? So let me go on and scoop you up. Think about a lot of them dogs you see, everybody else got a yard, right? Everybody else out on the chain, but they got that one dog over there in the pen. That's that dog when he was a puppy, they'll tell you. He ran through his litter. A true game dog litter, I'm talking about when I say old school, true to the bone, you're not keeping them together past 12 weeks. You're not. You keeping dogs together past 12 weeks, boy, you a hell of a dog, man. And I'm not saying it can't be done. People do it all the time. But I tell you,
look, bro, we just talking about Tom Garner. Motherfucker, I done seen pictures of them pulling dogs up out of their puppies way older than fucking.
that's because time don't. Time will tell you. Time. Remember we was talking about that earlier. Time just breeding and breed now. You feel me? Tom ain't bred no good game dog, and they call me crazy. Tom Garner had no good game dog.
I think it got a lot to do with the space that you give them, the puppies.
Man, look here.
If you keep puppies in a small environment, which is perfectly fine for puppies, right? A little small, little environment, to keep them contained, you keep them clean, you know, all this shit. It's right. Completely normal. They'll be more agitated to get shit popping, you know, versus let's just say those big ass pens that we be seeing, you know, them big ass fucking pens.
Bro, I'm from Valdosta, Georgia, right? We let them dogs, like Casino say, we let certain places, we'll let the dogs go breed and go have them puppies where they want to go have them, as long as they don't go back in the yard and, you know what I'm saying, and get done. And I'm telling you, if you ask some of your old heads, ask some of your old heads
too, bro.
Hey,
the data proves it. It's just
what
like
part,
saying,
what part you from, Casino?
It's just like saying,
I'm from Atlanta.
Fulton County. My granddad and them, the man we talking about right now, my granddad and them stay on the mountain in Lewiston.
Oh, for real?
Schoolboy.
Hey.
I told you.
Hey, what's happening?
I told you we get to talking. Everybody gonna fall in here.
Good morning.
Hey, look, because this is a hell of a conversation.
Good morning.
You know, Schoolboy, you came in at the right time.
Okay, so let's kick it back up, Schoolboy. This the topic right now. We were talking about blue dogs, but we brought up the topic of gameness with puppies right now. And Buck say he could keep them together. Me and Casino was taught different in Georgia. After 12 weeks old,
I wasn't taught shit. It's data. It's data that proves. Like, okay, so check this out. Let's say you got a hot ass litter, the same litter you talking about, but there's one in the back that just don't want no smoke. That dog has numerous times turned out to be the best fucking one in the litter. Like, what are we talking about?
I mean, if
you unalive your 9-week-old sibling, that does not have anything to do with gameness. That was my argument.
Okay. So now look,
if we're gonna have that debate, my argument. Let's set the precedent, you know, for the argument. Not just because you got a hot ass litter, you got to separate at 9 weeks. I even give you a little bit more. That is not indicative to gameness. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong as shit.
So that's like, so that'd be on the same point of saying that, like how we had to teach them to respect other animals in the house. You feel me? That's like, it's just like, okay, like remember I told you I done had plenty races that won but could be around another animal. I had to teach him that. You feel me? I had to by correcting him, e-collar, you feel me? And letting him know this one animal, you leave him the hell alone. You feel me? Because as a puppy, he didn't know nothing.
Well, we
You
can
take
have 5 kennels of puppies. You can have 5 kennels of puppies. You do all the same shit with all of them. You
you
go in
remember
there,
that old
you
saying,
touch them
don't
all
let
on
your
the
dog
head, you pick them up, you check his bite, you worm them, you do all the regular shit, you know.
but
Let
you
me
got a
The
passion
litters
be
that you're
different
gonna
though.
have to separate are not necessarily gonna be the gamest. It's
Man, I
not,
don't
I
know.
ain't
it's not a definite.
I ain't gonna lie. I agree with what Buck's saying on that. Cause like I was taught to separate them before 12 weeks, but like I can't say that just cause one out the litter is goddamn like causing hell for all the other ones. I can't say that one necessarily gonna be the best one. It all just depends.
Exactly.
It just all depends.
Let Schoolboy get a little bit of it. Let Schoolboy
Guys,
get some.
talk up. Yeah. Come on,
Okay.
schoolboy.
Yeah.
Let Schoolboy get some.
Yeah. Let me put it this way, because every dog or the traits we like in dogs can be prevalent, right? We choose the traits we like. And when you're talking about the past, like what I used to do in the past, you like dogs that were game, you like dogs that had finish, you like dogs that have hard mouth like that. I'll just use those 3, right? But just a dog can be game, right? And have no finish. A dog can be a
Fact.
finisher, even a puppy, right? And not be game. But I'll
I
use
also
those 2 examples. So as far as what you guys were just talking about leaving pups together, you can do that, and you can raise them generally up to a certain point, and then you have to separate. But if you are breeding and raising dogs with that trait where they can get along within their own family, or they can get along with whatever animals you have in your house, whether it's a cat, their sibling, a stray dog, or whatever, but they react to outside influence, you can do that. Now, me, again, speaking of the past, I raised mine for sports, for competition. So everything I taught them was geared to that. I didn't want them getting along. I didn't want them behaving with each other. So I encouraged that competitive, confrontational behavior. But you can do it the other way too, if you need them to because of where you live, or you got neighbors, nosy neighbors, or whatever. You can do that too. Does that take away from their gameness? No.
I wanna
No, it's
add
just,
another point. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
I was just going to say, it just depends on a lot of it, how they're raised. Now, some of them, it doesn't matter what you do. They can't get along with anything. They're going to go after anything on 2 legs or 4 legs that they consider prey, or a confrontation, or a competitive nature like that. A competitor, an opponent, or whatever. There's nothing you can do about it. But there are some, and that's throughout history, that they can turn it on and turn it off. Now, me, I don't like those kind of dogs. I didn't like those kind of dogs because I wasn't raising them for anything else except what I was going to do with them. But others did. If you listen to my interviews with Mr. Bill and other people, they have house dogs, and the same house dogs are their champions and grand champions like that. And they have a friend, a pet, a poodle, or whatever it is. So it just depends on, how you raise them, which ones you choose, which ones show you that they can do that, get along with other animals like that. Go ahead.
I was wanting to say something to Tony G. I think he already left, but if he's still listening, I was gonna say, like, I ain't gonna lie, if you got puppies that's wilding like that, that is a good sign. But if the philosophy that if that was true, you wouldn't see nobody keeping the whole litter. Like, you wouldn't see nobody trying to figure that shit out. Like, they would just see the most aggressive one and just know that that's the one, and then get rid of the rest. Like, people observe them and watch them grow up, because everybody know that you can't judge them off how when they is when they puppy. You know what I'm saying? Like
No
people,
way.
some people like the biggest out the litter. Some people like the most aggressive. Some people like the runt. But it's been successful ones that was come from, like, they could have been any one of those. You know what I'm saying? They could have been the runt. It could have been the biggest one, the most aggressive one. I'm saying, like, that's the reason that people keep their whole litter, because they don't know. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah, the one you think is your pick of the litter, or you think this one's going to be the best one, you might be wrong about it. That's one of the reasons I kept the whole litter.
Exactly.
I have an
Yeah.
eye for my dogs. I know my family of dogs. I know my pups. What if I'm wrong? I could be wrong.
Right.
a
Right.
guy, I'm gonna try to get him to because he told me this story. I'm gonna try to get him to put it in writing and for the next magazine. But it was called The Hottest Puppies, and it was about a dog named, I think his name was Little Virgil and Black Pat or Black Paz or one of those guys. And these two puppies were bar none, the hottest fucking puppies that this guy said he ever seen in his whole life. They got up to about 20 months old. I guess they looked at the two together. They looked at them together. And them motherfuckers stood the line in like 12 minutes. It was a crazy ass story, you know what I'm saying? But it just goes to show that it doesn't matter how hot you are when we're talking about gameness, especially at a very young age.
Yeah, yeah. Pups can change. Now, mine started early. Most of them. Some of them did, but most of them did. It's just something that I liked in my dog. It doesn't mean I started them early, because that's dumb. And I've done that. That's how you learn. It's stupid to do that. You just wait on them. But that, again, that doesn't mean that they're going to turn out. That doesn't mean they're going to be game. It's just a trait that I like. I knew they would go, but I didn't know they were going to stop. You have to see that. So people take aggression, they take attitude, a vocal dog that's animated and jumps around and screams and stuff. They take that as gameness. I see that all the time, all over there. Oh, it's a game pup. Oh, look at how he is. Look at how he acts. It don't mean shit. They face dogs off. In my mind, I'm going, you can't do it, but I'm going, let them go. Find out. That don't mean shit. It really doesn't. It's something that can be indicative in a line of dogs, and it's something that a lot of pit bulls do. That's just their nature to do that, to behave that way. But at the final result, no, it doesn't mean that they're game because they're aggressive.
Right. Yeah, definitely. A female could throw hot ass puppies every litter to where you got to separate them at 6 weeks and
Yep.
throw all curs. You feel me? Rather if
Yeah.
they 20-minute curs, 30-minute curs, 40-minute curs, straight up.
Yeah. And look at it this way. With most litters, you can have fire pups every single litter. In the back of your head, some of them going to quit, even if they act all the same, like you're saying. The whole litter could be cur, but and the whole litter, which is rare, could be game. But just because of the nature of the breed, some of them pups in that litter is going to quit. In every litter, just about. That's the way you weed out. You call out the good ones from the bad.
Yeah.
So it don't. But like I said, it's a trait I like because that was in the blood that I use. If they didn't behave that way, then I would wait. And it's not indicative of my blood. But I would wait because he's not hot from the beginning don't mean he's going to turn out. And I had one like that. I waited until he's 3 years old. He's one of the best dogs I had. If I was basing it on, well, he didn't start young and got rid of him, I would have been dumb. That's stupid.
I'm telling you, and he probably had
Yeah.
siblings that were way more promising than his ass for a long time, And
I only had 2 of them, and the brother started young. The brother was a good dog too, but this late starter one was better. He was just that way. I don't know about the other. Maybe all the other ones quit. I didn't have the other one. They came from someone else, but they were off my stud, but someone else's female. So, it just, people, sometimes they're told stuff and they believe it. Sometimes they read stuff and they believe it. And regardless of who tells you what, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, or what you read, you got to test everything. Not just what we're talking about here, but you got to test the feed, the supplements, the training that you're using, whatever apparatus you're using. I get asked all the time, what's the best? What's the best? There ain't no best. It's what's best for you, what works for you, but you got to practice with it. Even the supplements. You can't just give them something. Oh, I read this is good. I'm going to hit my dog with it. And you put them in keep or you take them to a weight pool or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you know that thing worked if you haven't tested it over and over again
What's
previously?
the results? What are the
Yeah.
results that you're looking for?
You don't
and
know.
What are the results that you're getting?
Yeah, you don't know if it did anything,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I had a topic, keeping weight on a dog. A lot of people been having problems.
Bro, I ain't
with
gonna
that,
lie.
and
That's the
it is
perfect
getting
topic.
cold, and we're gonna just troubleshoot, and maybe we got a couple remedies. The chat could join in too.
Bro, I got the answer, bro. I just looking at how fucking fat my dogs was, bro. It's the perfect topic.
Give us the Da Vinci Code, man.
All right, so look, this is what I'm using, and I don't tell nobody shit I use, but I'm gonna just go ahead, just because it's the perfect topic, and I was looking at my fat ass dog. Hold up, I gotta pull a picture up. I gotta read that shit. Hold on. I don't use Dine. I use I use this shit called cocoa soya. You know what I'm talking about? It's for horses.
Dude, Trackside said whole milk in the feed is all you need. Ooh, I ain't never tried that, but I know that whole milk got a lot of fat in there.
Cocoa soya is a fatty acid formula, and it's for horses. And it's an antioxidant. Antioxidant. My bad.
Antioxidant.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It got a lot of omega 3s and 6 and 9, and you get a whole gallon for $32. And it's the same size that big Dime shit, and it's the same shit.
Which one is it?
It's called cocoa soya. It got a horse on it. It's a fatty acid. But that's
Cocoa
all Dine
soy.
is. Yeah, cocoa soya. COCO.
Nah, Dine is good too. I like Dine.
Yep.
Now.
But
Somebody
that shit
just
I put it
asked,
down. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
something wrong with Dine. I like Dine. Is it real thick like the Dine, or is it more easy to?
It's thick. Nah, it's thick. It's thick.
Okay.
It's like the same shit. It's more gold than Dine. Like, you know how Dine you can't see through the shit. You can see through
Right.
You can see through it a little more. You know, like it's kind of like
I got you.
translucent. Yeah. But it's the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
thing that they use it for horses, and they got all my dogs fat as hell. Like,
You can
I
get that
just
at the
used
Tractor Supply. You get it at Tractor Supply.
well, I don't know if they got it there. I go to it's this place called the Country Store. That's where I go. I mean, but I
I
don't think
got
they
you.
got multiple locations. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just for the people in the chat. Amazon, Amazon's the biggest giant, man. They probably got every
Yeah.
damn thing, man. Get on that Amazon, free shipping. You come out right, man.
I'm gonna give one more secret. Hold on. This ain't one thing that's got too much to do with putting weight on, but this is like that you can use for puppies. You can use it for your females that's getting ready to be bred. Like, you can use it instead of prenatals and everything. And it's called Sure Grow 100. It's called Sure Grow 100. It's a tablet. It's 100 of them coming up, and you can use that instead of prenatals. And it's like way cheaper than prenatals. It's the same shit. Like, sometimes if you look at ingredients, if this is what I do. I look at ingredients and shit. I don't look at what animal is for. I don't look at what it's for. Ingredients, and I compare ingredients. If it's the same shit, it's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at shit.
Yeah, I used basically a simple thing. I just used beef tallow. I took it down till it's liquid, you know. Then I put like a quarter cup
You,
in their
you
in
said
their
you use
feed.
beef what?
It's simple. Beef tallow, beef fat.
Oh, beef fat.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh. It's real simple. It'll put weight on them quick.
Where you get that at?
But
Where do you
You know,
get
where you
beef
get
fat?
that?
Where you get beef fat from?
from you can get it from a butcher, or you can just, you know, when you like if you get meat, you just trim the fat off of it. Like if you get a
Oh yeah, I know
brisket,
it's something.
or
Yeah.
or you get tri-tip, you just trim the fat, keep the trimming,
I
and
be
and
eating that
just cook it down.
shit.
Yeah, I eat some
I
of
eat
it,
that
but you
shit.
gotta yeah, you gotta trim some of it because the top layer is real hard, right?
Oh, okay.
So you trim it till it's about a quarter inch, and then
Okay.
and it don't take much. There's also a product called Extra Bloom Weight, and I use the Extra Bloom. I mean, I use the Dog Bloom VM Supreme vitamin mineral supplement, so it's the same company. It's for lactating bitches, pregnant bitches. It's for sickly pups, you know, if you want to put weight on them. And I've used another product called, damn it, I forget. It comes in a tube, and it's for pups, you know, like if they get parvo, to put weight on them afterwards. But basically, just add fat. You don't have to change the diet much. And if you're feeding a beef based food, or you're feeding beef anyways, whether it's raw or whatever, it's the same. You're giving them the same what they're already eating. But whole milk, whole cow's milk, I wouldn't do that because that can hurt their pancreas. So what we did with our pups is we gave them goat's milk, and we fed it to them till they're about 6 months old. Some people feed goat's milk till they're a year old, but we did it till they're about 6 months old. And I had some dogs. Some of my dogs could be destructive. They fight their chain, they fight their bowl house like that. They chip their teeth. But the ones that weren't destructive, and using that goat's milk, I never lost teeth. They never broke a tooth, not even a chip. And I'm talking dogs that were 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years old. They still had all their teeth in their mouth.
Is that the
Howler,
calcium
Champion
or
Bill.
what?
It's the calcium in the goat's milk, and then the fat content is just healthier for dogs. But some people, you can get, you can give cow's milk, non-fat, low fat like that. But if you give whole milk, it can cause. I've done that, and it screwed up their pancreas. So the vet is the one who told me don't give them cow's milk. It's like giving them milk chocolate. It's not good for a dog, right? So he's the one that don't.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because I've heard that cream cheese, cottage cheese and yogurt,
Yeah,
and
because
that's from a cow now.
Right, but it's separated. That's the curd. It's not the whey. The whey is what gives them the problem. So milk, whole milk, has both. But when you make cheese and you make yogurt or you make cottage cheese like that, it doesn't have the liquid. It's just the solid. It's separated. That's why you can give them cheese and cottage cheese and yogurt.
You talking about something?
You can do that. Go ahead.
I was asking. Cause I'm reading the chat too. I'm trying to. Like Sir Kendall said that Bloom product. What's Bloom?
It's a company, J.E. Roniker. That's the name they use for their products. So you have Dog Bloom, you have Extra Bloom Weight. You can just look it up.
And then
it's that Victor dog food and eggs put weight on them.
And, it does. Eggs do.
I don't trust Victor.
But see, it's something that you have to. It's easier to find something like beef tallow, like maybe the product he just mentioned or something, where you don't have to give them more food per se. So the cost is less. You don't have to give them more kibble, or you don't have to increase all their vegetables and give them more eggs and all this. It's a simple, just a quarter cup beef tallow, boom, and they'll balloon up because it's just fat. And I did that only during the summertime. I didn't do it during the wintertime.
I got one more
I mean,
thing.
I did it during the wintertime, not the summertime is what I mean. I didn't give it to them during the summer, just the winter to keep their weight on. And I fed them the same. I didn't have to increase their feed.
I got a question for y'all. Somebody said something in the chat. Trackside Entertainment said, not puppies, grown dogs. Puppies can't be outside in this winter. When he say puppies can't be outside in this winter, like what environment is he? I don't know where he live or like or
Well,
basically.
it would be in the Northeast where it gets 20 below, 30 below, freezing like that. They're not big
okay.
enough, and they don't have enough fat on them to it could be unhealthy.
But he wouldn't be talking about a place like Georgia, right?
Oh hell no.
No, hell no.
Georgia,
Okay.
you can
All
have
the
dogs
lower
all
southern
year
state,
round.
yeah. Even
I'm
in
just making sure.
California or all along the West Coast, it gets cold, but not like the Northeast.
No.
It's
Right.
different.
Right. I just
We didn't
wanted to
even
make
get
sure.
snow over here. I'm in Seattle. We didn't get not one drop of snow at all.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, it's not a
Yeah,
No.
shit. Where I'm at,
and as long as they have weight on them and good bedding, and they're not in the high winds and all like that, they're fine. They have to be accustomed to the environment too. That helps build their immune system and their durability and constitution. You should have preventative maintenance and be cognizant of the weather and the area and have the area clean and all that, but they have to be exposed to different stuff so that they can have a good immune system. If you notice, the kids nowadays, they got everything. They're sick from everything. Shit that you never saw, or the small percentage of it back in the day. Now there's a high percentage. Kids getting sick at a rate 60, 70, 80 years ago was like 20%. Now it's up to 70% or something like that. Why are they getting so sick? These debilitating illnesses. It has to do with their immune system and their constitution and durability, even with children. So the dogs is the same way. You got to get them out there running around, and they're going to get into stuff and eat crap and shit and all kinds of stuff.
I think we got to make like with the kids, we got to make a better effort to feed them better quality food, because let's look at it. As the years go on, they're getting cheaper and cheaper and more and less nutritional value in the everyday food. Like, let's say a bowl of cereal back in the day was probably way more healthy than a fucking bowl of cereal today. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You're right. The same food,
Man,
whether if it's beans in a can, what it don't matter what it is. Back in the day, even the vegetables on the, in the regular area, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably had better nutritional value back then, you know what I'm saying, than now. So
this how I choose foods for my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, if the food has a crazy color that ain't a natural color, like if the shit blue, if the shit green, if the shit purple, anything, cereal, if it got colors, my child ain't eating that shit. Like, cause ain't nothing. It's nothing in nature that be purple, like purple, like Fruit Loops, like a bowl of Fruit Loops, for example. Like, I'm not giving my kids no damn Fruit Loops, but I mean, I wasn't even allowed to have that shit when I was growing up. But my parents is like some healthy, like, you know what I mean? But
yeah, shit brown. They put coloring on it to make it brown too, or white, or whatever.
Yeah.
Everything is bad, man, basically.
I mean, we don't even in my house. We don't got no cereal or cow's milk in my house.
Well, what's happening is when we were young and my parents young, this and that, we really didn't eat baby food, right? Whatever the family was eating, that's what the child ate, the baby ate. And you just chop it up, you mix it up, whatever. And I'm not talking infants, but once they start getting older, they don't do that anymore. So I see a lot of kids, even some of my grandkids, they won't eat this, they won't eat that, they don't like that, and they eat a lot of fast food crap shit. And that's it. Their diet is limited. For me, I'd eat anything except for I didn't like liver and I didn't like cooked spinach. But just about everything else, we ate it. Didn't matter what it was and what kind of food it was. So the parents themselves are limiting their children because they don't like my wife, if it was a small kid, even some infants, depending on what she was eating, she would take the food, chew it up, give it to the baby. They don't do that. I told one of my relatives do that. No, they want to feed them baby food. Expense on top of expense. But now the kid won't eat nothing. He eats pizza and he eats chicken nuggets and fries, and that's about it.
Maybe some macaroni, maybe.
And some and noodles.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all this kid eats, man. So that's what's happening. And a lot of it is on the parents because, it's easier to just give them some crap and go to McDonald's rather than cook a meal and get the kid accustomed to eating all kinds of stuff. But if you don't start when they're young, by the time they get up to 6, 7, 8 years old, they don't want to eat shit. They don't like it.
Yeah. Man, what's so important about that?
Not to mention, like you said, what the crap they put in there.
Right.
No, and like you said, but nobody really has a garden unless you like it or it's a, it's a novelty to you or something. They don't have garden. We always had a garden.
I tried it.
Right.
I'm about to try it again. I did it. I did a garden I had a whole bunch of chickens. I had a garden, but I was having problems with my garden, bro. Like all I could really survive off of was the tomatoes. Everything else, like I couldn't survive off that shit. So I'm gonna try again this spring, but I be trying to do stuff like that, bro. I'm big on health. But another thing, like to add to what you're saying, school boy, 'cause I agree 1,000%. What people don't realize when you raising a child and you feeding them nothing but crap, not only is they gonna be visually like you're gonna be able to look at that child and tell that they're not really healthy like that, like as far as like things like that, but every child don't get obese. You can feed some kids crap all the time and they will never gain weight, but they still not getting the nutrients they need. But not only are you hurting their actual physical health, you hurting their mental health too, because the nutrient also develops their brain. It develops all that stuff like that. So you know what I mean?
Right.
So like I feel like
You're right.
that's where all this ADHD came from out of nowhere. All the
That's where it comes from. That's why it's increased. You're right.
Yeah.
I was listening to a program. I was listening to a program years ago, and there was an argument because people, they don't like to eat meat, right? It's bad for you. It's this and that. So they brought on an anthropological nutritionist, and he said animal meat is the best protein you can give to children. And they did studies over a 10-year period of different children. The ones that weren't raised on animal meat were more pale. They were weaker. Their cognitive sense was less. They weren't as intelligent. So you're right. It affects their brain. It affects their mobility, their athleticism. It affects their skin. And now it's kind of coming around again. Oh, people need to eat meat. They need that type of protein. Just like there's different types of fat, there's different types of protein as well. They ain't all the same.
What's
and
so
even
crazy?
vegetarians, even vegetarians that I knew had to take a protein supplement because they weren't eating meat.
Right. And yeah, I was gonna talk about vegan, like everybody was being vegan. Man, I ain't never. This how I operate. This how my whole family go. Like we go off our blood type. We know our blood type. We eat for our blood type. I believe everybody is, just like animals. Like, yeah, it's all of them be dogs, but they different type of dogs. I look at that like humans, like the blood type. Everybody not supposed to eat the same shit. So like me, I gotta have meat to be the best me. It say that for my blood type. It's no way that I would never be the best person I could be if I don't eat meat because of my blood. You know what I'm saying, so I always tell people, find out your blood type and find out what you supposed to eat for your blood type. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that's the beautiful thing about science. They're always doing all kinds of studies, but you got to go to different sources because you're going to have someone that's going to oppose what you're saying, and you got to read why do they oppose it, and why do they say it's wrong, and then people that agree with you, scientists that agree with you, and then you go and get their information and see where it lands. But
Yeah. But you know what's so crazy? Blood types. My bad. I ain't mean to cut you.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
When you like, I'm really into this blood type shit, right? So because I never understood it when I was a kid, because I used to hate that shit. I used to want to eat certain shit, and I never had snacks and shit. Like I never had snacks. But
Yeah.
once I became an adult, I realized that was the best way for me. You know what I'm saying? And then I started looking into it, and I look at different blood types. So like my blood type, I got fast fang. Like my what you call it? My canines, they sharp as hell. They sharp as a motherfucker. And then if you look at other type of blood types that may not supposed to eat, it might be, I don't know every blood type. I really did more research on mine. But other blood types, some of them might not post much meat as others. If you look at their canines, them shits would be smaller than the nigga who is a blood type O. And it's crazy,
Right.
like people be thinking I sound crazy when I'm saying that, but I'm like, bro, people really be different. Like, if once you go to that blood type, once you break it down to the blood type, you can see teeth. You'll look at people's teeth and be like, okay, you probably this blood type, because you can tell what they supposed to be chewing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And you know the meat you eat, you have to understand how the animal breaks down the food. So people use the example, well, cows and goats and all this, they eat nothing but vegetation. They don't eat meat. Even gorillas, they don't eat meat, and they're strong as hell. This and that. They don't break down their food like we do. That's why they have 4-chambered stomachs. What they're eating, where they're getting their nutrients from, is when they eat the food, the bacteria in their stomach breaks down the food. It's not the cow breaking it down and absorbing the nutrients. It's the bacteria in their belly that's doing it. Then those microbes poop out the nutrients, and that's what the animal absorbs. So it has nothing to do with that they're vegetarian, they're non-meat eaters. It's how the food that they eat is broken down. That's why you know they have high meat content, high fat content, a lot of protein and ketamine or whatever the hell, all that stuff in there. You just got to look it up and read it. But I did a show last night on NWA with a guy named Caveman, and he breaks down a lot of this stuff more scientifically than I could. And he gives examples of plants, how they grow, and how you can do it organically and all that stuff. So anybody interested, check it out. It's very interesting.
Like you guys was cooking over there. It was a good cookout.
Yeah.
Hey, salute Ohio.
Yeah.
Salute Ohio with the magazine purchase. Appreciate you, my brother.
I never knew that I would do numbers like this. I made a move. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose.
Yep. Get it in, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. Let us support.
I want to say one more thing about this topic. This is what I learned from keeping chickens, right? You got to feed your chickens organically. Like, if you don't feed your chickens organically, you might as well just buy chicken from the store, because you might not have the steroids in your stuff, but if you feeding them like just the cheapest chicken feed, you basically like you really defeating the purpose. You know what I'm saying? So if you is gonna farm, you try to do pretty much everything organically. Like, even the chicken feed, the organic chicken feed is a little bit more expensive than the regular chicken feed, but that shit worth it. And And that's the reason that you're doing it in the first place, to have a healthier source of food in your own backyard. So spending an extra $2 on that feed, that'll go a long way for your health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, organic stuff, it shouldn't be more expensive.
Nah, it
Because they're
shouldn't be.
not adding they're not adding anything to it.
Right.
Where regular food, they add all kinds of chemicals, and you got to use, exfoliants and all kinds
But
of crap to it.
organic, you're getting smaller crops though. So
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
putting in more
Well,
work.
you get smaller crops, but the individual, the fruit or the vegetable or whatever are bigger,
and they
right?
fill
And
you up.
you can even increase that. There was a Japanese guy. He used higher, it was in a greenhouse, and he used higher content of oxygen, and he pressurized it. So he just did it on one plant. This tomato plant increased the volume because of that by 3 times. And as the plant kept growing, it was like 20 feet tall tomato plant, and it produced hundreds of tomatoes every season, and with no pesticide, no nothing. But it was just that increase of pressurized oxygen that helped the plant grow. And even though some plants, they look healthy, it doesn't mean that they are healthy, because plants have a natural defense against bugs. But if the plant isn't healthy, the bugs will eat it up. If they are, the bugs won't touch it because it'll kill them. So there's a lot to it. You can when you like what they've done with farming is they've increased the number of plants that they use. For, say, corn, they used to space it out, let's say 3 feet apart. Well, they find out if they put them closer together, you have more corn per acreage. But what that does is, because it's so much corn in one area, it depletes the soil. So the nutrients from the soil are less. So now, to get the same nutrient effect from whatever it is, whether it's corn or tomatoes, whatever, you have to eat more of it. You're not getting the same nutrients in an 8-ounce serving of vegetables today as you were 40 years ago. You could get the same in 4 ounces or 2 ounces, because you have soil depletion. There's not enough nutrient in the soil to give that particular food, whatever it is you're growing. And they make more by volume. They sell more by volume, but they're not as nutrient efficient for you. They know all this shit. They just don't tell people.
Yeah.
And if you don't feed the soil, you're just growing a plant with crap. It has no nutritional value, or very little. So you got to feed it. That's why they change crop. They have to change crops every so often, because that particular crop, whatever nutrients it's getting out of the soil, is different from a different crop. So they put a different crop in, and then it gets the nutrients that are left there for that particular plant.
You dropping
That's,
jewels, man.
man, it is. It's way more. I had a couple apples in the yard, small trees, but they produce some good fruit, and just some grapes and stuff. I'm telling you, man, it's way more. You're getting way more in it. It's crazy.
Yeah, because you're growing whatever you're growing, Buck, and then when it ripens, you're eating it. So you get the full benefit of it, of the life of the fruit, or whatever it is you got. What they do in agriculture is, because it has to be held for a long time and they have to transfer it. Sometimes that take days or whatever because you're shipping it out of country, across country, different continents, or they're shipping it here. So they pick the fruit and vegetables green. And then they have these big units where they put the fruit in there. And when they want it to ripen to put out to market, they hit it with that gas. The plant, the fruit exudes a gas, and that's what ripens it on the vine. But when you pick it green, it doesn't have that gas anymore. So they take it to the warehouse. They put it in these big old, I mean, they're massive, huge. They can hold tons of food in there. And then they gas it, and then they take it to market. So it just colorizes it. Doesn't finish out, where it's mature fruit now. It's like they're fooling the plant. So you don't get the nutrients. That's why the food, when you grow it at your house, right? When you grow it at your house, it tastes better, tastes different. Even chickens at home taste
10
different.
times better.
Yeah, the eggs.
You transition, brothers.
And it
is.
And it fill you up like you're supposed to. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. If you have chickens at home and you look at their eggs when you harvest the eggs at home, the yolk is more yellow than the ones you buy at the store because it's natural. It's natural breeding, natural growth, natural food, all that, and they taste better. It don't take much. I mean, if you just pick, several kinds of vegetables and you got a fruit tree, or even if it's just one orange tree, one apple tree or something like that, you can subsidize your grocery bill just by that. And if you learn how to can stuff,
that's like the best treat you could do to your body besides exercise,
Yeah.
Hey, Constant Pressure, what up, brother?
Constant Pressure.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey,
how y'all doing?
I know
tonight?
Constant Pressure know about this shit.
Oh yeah, man. I'm all for it. I'm all
What you
for
said,
it.
it's second nature to you. Huh?
Man, all right.
Hey, salute Constant Pressure, bro. I just learned about you yesterday off of that Samurai Kennels thing.
Oh, okay. Samurai was kicking that shit with you.
Now he you made a list. He
Oh,
shouted you
okay.
out.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, congratulations.
Hey,
He had a
hey,
list. He had a list of the kennels on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Who
Hey,
all,
so
who
The
all
first one he
in
had,
there?
number one. I remember number one was Thompson Kennels.
Yeah. Number one was Thompson. Number two was Tom Garner. I can't remember after that. But he had Tom Garner number two, Thompson number one.
Yeah, but Constant Pressure was in there too. I forget what number.
Thompson got snubbed off the last list. I don't know what they was looking at, what channel.
But I'd rather be on the kennel list. I'd rather be on the kennel list than the YouTube list. Like, because it's about the dogs. I mean, that's my opinion. They both good.
it's all the same. If you got a YouTube channel, to me, it's all the same, whether if you a kennel or not. Like, to me, like if you on YouTube, like if we say top 10 kennels, that's nationwide. That's the top 10. They probably ain't even on YouTube realistically.
Yes. Hey,
if we want to really just keep it a buck,
Salute to Samurai, man. I appreciate that shout out, man. Hey, man. Hey, salute to all the contestants and the people who went up and got heard about yesterday.
He had also he mentioned Chico Lopez. That surprised me because I didn't think nobody was gonna mention him. But I agree with him. I agree with mentioning him, even though I don't agree with a lot of shit he say. But you got it. If we talking about the dogs, you got to mention Chico. I mean that's in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, me, I mention you after I see your dogs. Do you know anybody with those dogs?
I mean, nah, I don't. I mean, I'm talking about I see Terrence Crawford got them shits. I see Canelo got it. I see Pitbull Cruz got. I mean, you know what I mean? That's just a good thing for the breed, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I mean, he's not my favorite. I'm just saying, he do deserve some recognition, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And then also he had mentioned Marco TVG, and I never thought nobody would mention him. So that was
Who's
cool.
that?
Marco's TVG on YouTube.
Marco.
He be doing a bunch of shit. Like He really had band dogs before, but now it look like he got some real pit bull. But he got he got a big following.
Yeah, Shan.
Yeah,
Salute
if
to
you're on
Chico, man.
YouTube, I
I
mean,
like seeing the dogs in that light with the boxers and being shown in that light, getting good exercise and stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's a good look. So yeah, man.
I don't agree with how he talked down on people, but at the end of the day, that I gotta separate that shit from what he doing with the dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll say this about that. There's several different breeds of dogs channels, all kinds of stuff, right? From
Uh-huh.
Boerboels to German Shepherds, you got Rottweilers, you got all kinds of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Most of the community, even those other breeds,
Uh-huh.
give most accolades to the pit bull community because they say we there's more exposure, we give more information, we do more with our dogs as far as function, whether it's legal sports or hunting or dog shows. So we're recognized even outside of the pit bull community as being at that top level all around dog men. I thought that was cool,
Yeah, that is
you
cool.
know,
And I
because
got
them other breeds, they won't give you shit. They won't tell you how to breed. They won't tell you, how to train your dogs. They just keep it under wraps. Where we're open about it, and I'm
because it
open
don't
about it.
matter.
Yeah, and
Their lineage really don't
well,
matter. Their lineage is gonna be
yeah,
what it is. It's already written out. Like they're gonna buy this dog, they're gonna buy that dog. They got this one guy with a stud they talked to 6 months ago.
yeah, and
He's
and really,
2 hours
Buck,
away.
they can't give information because a lot of them, those breeds have been depleted. They ain't done shit with them.
Right.
So what are they gonna tell you? A lot of them ain't even used for the function they were originally intended for,
yeah.
and now they're trying to make a comeback. And there are several different breeders of different breeds of dogs that are starting to do that, but they're still behind the
They ain't even looked
behind
at
the
the
line.
paperwork. They don't even look at their paperwork. They
You know what
have
I
it,
think?
but they don't look at it.
You know why I think this? I think you know why I think that the pit bull community has so much information and we talk about the details so much. I think it's because the type of dogs that we dealing with, they high energy dogs, and if you gravitate towards this type of dog, you're a type of person anyway. And you know what I'm saying? You can't really be no lazy person dealing with no American Pit Bull Terrier. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I'm not saying
yeah,
anybody else is lazy, but I'm just saying the stuff that we have to do just to keep our dogs entertained, just so it don't destroy where it lives. Like you gotta get that, you gotta do activities with these. You know what I'm saying? It's different than like certain type of
yeah,
animals like Frenchies or bullies. Like those,
yeah,
they just have them in a crate. They can all live together. You know what I'm saying? They don't gotta worry about change spots and shit
Well, they're
like
not
that.
really gambling with those dogs, though. When you put the gambling aspect in it, the lineage matters, bro. Rather, if you're dealing with horses, it don't matter. That
Oh,
shit.
for sure.
Lineage matters when you're gambling. So
For sure.
if
I'm
there
just
was
talking
never
about just
no
the.
gambling and people just had the dogs, they were just, kind of
I'm
like
just talking about the.
Patterdales, you know,
I'm just
just,
yeah.
talking about just
When
the general upkeep of like just owning a. I'm just talking about just the difference in owning a pit bull and owning a Frenchie. You know what I'm saying? Like a
Yeah,
Frenchie.
well,
right.
that's
But you're talking
the
about knowing the
difference.
lineage too, though.
Oh,
Feel me?
okay. Yeah.
Like why do
Yeah,
why do we know the lineage more? Why do we care about the lineage more? And I was
Yeah.
saying when you put that gambling aspect into it,
Yeah.
and you're gonna, and I'm not saying that's what people are doing today. I
No,
don't know. I
no,
was
you're
I was
right.
watching football last night. I wasn't doing anything, but you know,
No, you're right.
it
You're
puts
right.
that aspect in it to where people, they care how this fucking dog is bred. They care. Some people care if there's curs all in the pedigree. That shit matters, bro. You know, you putting your
yeah.
money on
Well,
the line.
that goes right down
This
to
is your
that
life.
goes right down that goes to the function of the breed. That's why
Right.
they've been depleted. They don't use them for nothing. So any breed that has a function has to be kept a certain way. The epigenetics matter. The food matters. The breeding of it, pedigree, all that matters. Exercise matters. you know, and that's what happened. They don't do shit with them. So now you have a dog. Okay, it's that breed, but what does it do? Nothing. It's just that breed of dog.
You're right. And it's kind of hard for me to speak on it without speaking down on other people, dog. Because I don't like to say use words like lazy or nothing.
Yeah.
But like I
Well,
went to
I'll
a
say this: they realize that realize that the breeds have been messed up, and they're trying to fix it. So it's not like we're putting them down. They're doing it themselves.
We
okay.
just got a high maintenance dog, man, and
Man,
that's
I
and
say
everyone
this.
can see the
I went to
difference.
a I went to an all breed dog show, all breed dog show not too long ago, and shit, bro, that shit. I ain't gonna lie, like everybody was bringing their dogs in, like they wasn't walking them, they had them in fucking strollers, and that shit was just disgusting to me. Like, no offense to that
Yeah,
community, but they was bringing their dogs in on strollers, bro, and I just couldn't.
yeah,
I'm like, what the hell, you know what I mean? But shout out to them, you know
yeah.
what
I just grew up different. Whatever animal we had, whether it was a protection dog, a cow dog, it was cattle, sheep, whatever, they served a purpose. Whether it was food, sport, or work. And when you get away from that, that's what makes the breed go down. That's what makes it. It's not what it was anymore.
I mean?
No, it's just about the looks and the the
Just a
mix and
dog.
the breeds, just
The
the mix and the
colors.
breeds and the
Yeah,
colors and the what I mean. It's
yeah, yeah.
when you got that type of dog, you can't expect it to be a performance dog. And the thing about it is just like they are taking steps to try to go back the other way, like you said, Mr. Garcia. But it's
Yeah,
not easy. It's not easy once you get away from the
yeah,
standard.
yeah. That's why they're going across Europe and they're going to different countries and trying to get back what they lost. And there are some that man they do work. I've seen some of them dogs work, and I've mentioned this before too. You see cops have these dogs, and they send them after people. They tell them to let go. The dog don't let go. You almost got to get a breaking stick. He doesn't respond to the command over and over and over again. And I've seen a couple of guys, and they send them out to the person. They grab the person, and they give them one command out or whatever it is, and the dog lets go. That's a well-trained dog. So even the cops in the military that use these dogs for that purpose, they ain't good at it. Dog don't fucking listen to them. So those are the type of person. If I'm looking for that kind of dog, I would go to that person. And they show you what they do, and they show you their training. There's very few of them, but they are doing it. And there's some that are expert at it, but most of them ain't.
Man, I seen this one dude. I can't remember what his name. I think his name like Chris something. But he be on Instagram hunting them big ass hogs, bro. I just wanted to shout him out but he make them pit bulls look good, boy. They be taking them big old hogs down. I think his name Chris Galanti or something.
Mhm.
Y'all know who I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
I
No.
You know,
never
He's on
heard of him, but
YouTube.
I don't know if he on YouTube. He on Instagram. I'm about to pull him up. Hold on, I'm about to tell you exactly who he is.
They
He
be
got.
real dicey as to what you can post. Like, it seems like they'll flag you for some shit like that. Like, I'd be
I would
scared
have
to
thought
even.
so, but he be posting all that shit. He be posting bloody hogs and shit. You know what I mean? Hold on.
Yeah, that's dope.
anytime you post a working dog in his element, it's liable to be flagged on
You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. And then I'd be thinking, like, is it just me or like?
Yeah, it's Chris Galati. Chris
Oh,
Galati,
okay.
he on Instagram. He got 70.7K followers, 70K followers.
Oh,
And
okay.
let me see. He got his pedigree in his bio. He got some Mayday is in his second generation and first generation STP Liu Kane. So but
Oh,
he
he got
got
that frozen. He got that frozen semen.
he got some shit though. Like he all he posts is hog hunting. I be loving them videos he be posting.
That's what's up. Showing the dogs in a good light. That's what's
Mhm.
up. Shout out to
It's
him.
fun if you ever been on a hog hunt. It's fun, man. It's exciting. You ain't just out there finding something and shooting it.
Mhm.
You gotta bay the hog. You gotta send the catch dog in. You gotta catch it. You gotta work with the animal. So you either go and dispatch the hog, or you tie it down, you trap it. Because some of them, what they do is they take them hogs and they pen them up. They catch them and they pen them up, and then they feed them certain food, and it changes the flavor of the meat, or it's more sweeter or whatever. So they don't harvest them right away.
Mm-hmm.
They
But
tag them. They tag them and keep track of them.
yeah, it's I like doing it because
I watch.
again, I like
I be watching
any
that
dog
shit.
that works.
I be watching the hell out of that shit, man.
Oh,
Like
we
watching that hog hunting that made me fall in love with I like them German short haired pointers now. Like I like how all them dogs work together. Like
and
Yeah,
Wayne Moon said that the American Pit Bull Terrier is not for hunting in the woods. Hey, I like
man,
it.
shit. Fuck
I
all
like
that.
well,
debates.
I'll say
It's
this
for
to
what you
that. I had a friend years ago, and he would give his cur pit bulls to the hog hunter because they weren't good for what they did, but they were good for hunting. Which again, a
Mhm.
lot of people think because a pit bull catches a hog that he's game. He ain't. That don't make him game.
Right.
It's a whole different mindset.
I
You have
say the
predator and
American
prey.
Pit Bull
It's not a
Terrier.
confrontation.
I say the American Pit Bull Terrier is for anything you want it to be, except I don't agree with the protection stuff. I don't really agree with that part.
Yeah, I don't need them.
Why not?
But
Why
Yeah.
not?
anything else, use it for anything you wanted to use it for because it's smart enough to do whatever.
Well, I ain't gonna say when you just whoever says ask why not with that book.
Yeah, why not? I'm just
Not,
asking. I'm playing devil's advocate.
but since you said
You
why
got you
not,
got to do this. I
all right.
gotta.
So
Like,
this is
somebody
my
wants to
why
know
not.
why. Like, why not?
This is my why not. But
You feel me?
and if somebody can show me different, then it probably change my mind. But I just can't picture nobody telling no pit bull to stop biting and then do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I
if it
say they I say they don't work hard. They don't work good around other dogs. Usually, you liable. The attention it can be redirected really easy. Like you think you're gonna be working that hog in the woods, but he's gonna go turn on that dog that's next to him 9 times out of 10. But
nah,
you
you
know what I
supposed to
mean.
do it
They
with a
do
few.
they
You
do
supposed
a
to have
lot of
all female.
training. They take their dogs early and they train them to be able to stay focused during those moments and stuff. You know what I mean? So that's why I say the pit bull could be used for anything, realistically.
And when they go hunting, a lot of them use one male with a bunch of females, and it don't be having no problems. That's how you fix that.
Hmm.
Well, I'll say this because it's true. Pit bull is versatile, but
Mhm.
that don't mean all pit bulls are versatile. It don't even mean they're good at it. You have to be a certain type of dog to catch hogs. The
Mhm.
dog has to know how to catch the hog. He has to get on the hog.
Fatality.
He has to drop his body down, put his weight on the hog. If he's swapping holds with hogs, I've seen him do that, actually fight. They're trading back and forth. That's a death sentence for a dog.
Mhm.
So some pit bulls, they ain't good at certain things, even though they're versatile. It has to be the right kind of dog. And the guys I've been with, generally, if it's a full-blooded pit bull, they hunt by themselves. They catch the hog by themselves. It's not in tandem with any other breed. Some you can, but for the most part, it's singular because they will redirect. And now you have a loose hog who's going to attack the dogs and you, and you have two dogs fighting. So it's got to be the right animal.
Wayne
Yeah.
Moon in
And
the building.
Ween Moon,
Salute to the panel, ABPT Radio, Buck City. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on?
What up,
what's
brother? What
happening?
up?
Much love, brother.
What's happening?
Another
Hey,
good day. Another good day. You guys know I'm in real time over here.
hey, schoolboy, would you say, based on like, I'm basically talking about what you just said. You know, like all of them ain't good for it. Would you say that you would suggest if somebody wanted to go hog hunting, you would suggest that they go get a dog from a person who already doing that?
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Just like anything else, get someone who uses
But
those
why get
dogs
a
for
hunting
that
dog?
function.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The doggo Argentino is good for catching because they're big, but
Mhm.
some of them ain't good at it. They'll run away from a hog.
Mhm.
once in a while, a pit bull will, but most of them ain't gonna run away from a hog. But what they do is it's a detriment to their own self because they're fighting the hog. They ain't catching it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they get killed, or they ain't skilled at it. So you have to teach them from a young age. A lot of times they do it on domestic hogs because they don't have the big teeth to hurt them. And then you find out which ones can do it, and they do it right, and find out which ones don't, you call them out. But yeah, like anything else. Back in the day, if I wanted a thoroughbred racehorse, I'm going to go to Woody Stevens. I'm not going to go to Joe Blow down the street that has thoroughbred horses that don't do nothing with them. You know,
when you breed something and breed it for years and years, it's in the DNA. You know,
But what if
to do that?
what if he
you
got
know?
2 Woody Stevens dogs and he bred them together? Would you still fucking with him, or you just go straight to Woody Stevens?
well, I mean, if he has the same standards and and it produced what I wanted, yeah, you can go that route. But I would rather go to the source. If I'm going to get a Boyles dog, which I did, I go to Ronald Boyles.
Mm.
If I want a Carver dog, I'm going to go to Carver when they're alive. After they're gone, I'm going to go to the person that kept them like Boyles did, like Carver did.
Mm.
That's a huge part of why we're trying to establish the American Pit Bull Terrier as its own self. You know, once you start saying it's going to go hunting, once you start saying it's going to be doing protection work, that's not the dog anymore. You guys, this is a anthropology is what we were going to go over with Mr. Garcia about how his dogs were for a purpose. Once you start changing dogs, they lose the traits, they lose the attributes. They're not that same dog. So in culture, if somebody's a break dancer and they say, oh, I can go do ballet, well, then go do ballet. You're not a break dancer anymore. You know, so I wasn't saying that they can't hunt. I wasn't saying that they shouldn't hunt. I'm saying that the true American Pit Bull Terrier was built, raised, and bred for a reason. And the more people come into my society where I have my dogs, and you can even ask Borderland, because just like Mr. Garcia just said, I'm going to the source. Borderland, when he started out, he went to the source. When I started out, I'm 14 miles away from where Jeep was born, down in Louisiana. So I knew you have to go to the source. So I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with dogs hunting, but let's just keep it a buck on what the American Pit Bull Terrier was bred and raised for.
Oh yeah, we all know that.
Yeah.
We know
Well,
what
the perfect example is the staff. They got away from the sporting aspect, went into the conformation aspect, so they lost a lot of their traits. Can you find staffs that still will do that? Yeah, but they're few and far between, not the overall breed. Whereas pit bulls, most of them will still do what they were supposed to do, whether they're game or not. You know, that's a different thing. But at least they still retain that function. Most staffs won't. That's why you see them all hanging out with a bunch of different dogs, and they, you know, it's in on paper, it's still a staff with a history of the pit bull behind it. In looks, it still looks like a staff, but in function, it don't have that function no more. It's been changed. It's been bred out of it.
I don't know if you guys watched the yup, that's just like hunting dogs, you know? Like, we got to be honest. There's certain, like the tree and walker dogs, you know, the blue ticks, you know, the bloodhounds. You guys just know if that dog don't hit them woods hard, that dog ain't going hunting with the pack. You know what I mean? Like, those are pack hunting dogs that their function, they have a genetic function together, and they almost work together, you know? And I hate to say it, but where this dog came from and how long it's been on its own situation, it hasn't learned to work with other dogs. And the working that it's doing has nothing to do with the pack mentality, you know? So,
yeah.
You know, and I went over that with Samurai.
If you do that to them,
don't be telling people that that's a protection dog.
No, they don't put the pit bull in the pack. What I noticed they do, they keep it with them, and they got the hounds, whatever kind of hound they're using. They got those with tracking collars on. They go find it. They look on their GPS. They see that's where they at. They go close to it. They see what's going on. Then they let the pit go. That's how it go. They don't
Yeah, for
just
the
let
most part. Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, they don't run with the other dogs because again,
But
a
those
hound
aren't
dog can
American
run
football
for.
terriers to me. I don't know.
They can run. They can run for a long ways. A pit bull can't do that. They ain't gonna
right,
run no 10 miles. Most of them. They
right,
ain't built for it.
right. Yeah, I like to see
And
all type of
And like
shit
I
being done
said,
with the
a
dogs.
dog
You know what I
getting the
mean?
wood.
I'm not against, as long as they ain't doing no. I mean, I'm against like when people be fully dressing their dog. Like I'm not a fan of when people be putting their dogs in outfits and like fur babies and shit. Like I'm not a fan of that. But if it's working, if it's blood and guts involved in shit, bro, I'm watching that shit. I don't give a damn. What
Hold up,
I
let
don't
me
care.
let me let Mike Dan get in here. Mike Dan,
Morning. Good morning.
what's going
good
on with it?
morning, Mike Dan,
Or
my
good
man.
afternoon.
That's good people right there.
I said, man, hold up, man. Let me get my guy Mike Dan in here, man.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
What we
gee,
talking
Dan.
about? I take it we talking about the function of the bulldog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like school. I'm like schoolboy, man. If I'm gonna get something, man, I'm gonna go to the source for the most part. I keep trying to tell people that, man. Some of these guys are still around, man. And if you want to try to tap you on that blood, you better do it while they're here, because they're going by the handfuls every year, man. You know, and
You're right.
and
That's why a lot of people don't like crossing. They be liking that pure shit because it's like a lot of people look at the source. They only want to go to the source. So if you don't have no pure shit, like if you make a cross, it might not be as popular as the as like the pure shit from the source. So I think that's why a lot of people just
well,
That means they're doing it for the wrong reasons.
there you go.
exactly yeah
If
There
you
you
worried
go.
about that, you know what I'm
right
saying?
Let's
yeah
You
There
got
you
to
go.
create your own wave and let them follow that.
That's
You
right.
exactly
know?
yeah.
That's right.
You have
I
to stick
respect.
You
to the
got to you
formula.
got
And if
you
you
got to
don't know the
cross.
formula,
You
Yeah,
got to
and I
out.
wasn't
You
speaking
got to
about me. I got basically all crosses.
well. You got to outcross. So you just go to the source of that outcross that you like.
That's right.
Yeah.
The standard don't change.
Yeah.
Mhm,
You want Boyles and Heinzel. You go to Boyles. You go to Heinzel when they're alive.
mhm.
When
Yeah.
they don't have dogs no more, you go to, like I said, you go to the person that kept up those same standards for that bloodline. I have a protege, he has my bloods, had it for years and years. If he wants bully son dogs, he goes to the source, the ones that kept them straight. He adds it to it.
Right.
You want Eli, you want Red Boy Jocko, whatever it is, you go to people. The source for me means someone who's using them for their original intent
Right.
and breeding them for
Successful.
that.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Garcia, can you talk on, like, remember we talked about how the Shaflato blood, like, can you say, like, how I asked you about that? You said, well, if it didn't come from that certain source, you know, that's
Yeah.
the point of where we see the dog getting crossed out and, going all the different ways. But do you feel that the Shaflato, that's the main source right there, as close as you can get right now?
Yeah. Chiflado and Tatis. And the reason I say that is because the person who hasn't, he's using them for that. And he's got the record to back it up. Dozens of champions and grand champions,
There you go.
winners, best in show, and all this stuff.
There you go.
And people that like, that's who they go to. They go to him. Not someone who got their dogs from him. They go to him. So yeah, that's the best way to go about it. When I had Bully Son dogs, they came right from Bobby Hall.
Mhm.
Same with Boyle, same with Heinzel. Boleo
How
dogs,
everybody
I had them too. You go to Patrick for them.
It's hard enough to get a bulldog, with a capital B. I
What
can't
up,
stress
Kramer?
that enough. And when you go off and just some person that got some nice papers or something. Some of these papers ain't even realistic. I look at some of this stuff, man. Ain't no one
Yeah.
human possible way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
And, but if you
I'm on
trying to
pain
get a
too.
bulldog, if you're trying to get a bulldog, you got to go to where somebody's successful at having bulldogs and some consistency with their yard.
Right.
You can't go just off these pedigrees. I'm more concerned with what's in front of me. That's what I'm most concerned with, because I can't stress that enough. This thing takes time and patience, man. Sometimes people get lucky. It just don't happen that way. You got to put in due diligence with this thing, man. Like anything else, you can't just willy-nilly with it. You got to put in some work. You can't get a dog because his muscles popping and he looks good and all that. That don't mean nothing.
I'm getting me a dog from somebody who ain't it.
This is a performance dog, man. You know, I keep saying this. I'm gonna repeat this again. YouTube is not bulldog.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
You know, we have fun, we enjoy it. I'm an old man. You know, I get on here just for the enjoyment of it. You know, because the people that I associate with, they won't touch this.
Same here. You're right.
Touch it.
You're right.
Reason,
they don't even want me to interview them. Nah, Richard,
no,
you know.
That's right. That's right. Rick.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I understand. You know.
That's right.
Yeah.
And some of us have to show up. Some of us have to show up because, otherwise it'll get so watered down that we'll have people believing in these fairy tales,
Yeah. And you're right, Wayne, because some of them will be interviewed. Look at my channel. Look at all the people. I got Bob Finley. I got LA Dream Team. I got Gene Matz. All kinds of people that are willing to do it. Leander Daigle. But some of them, they won't. And I don't have a problem with it. And I understand why.
Right.
And, maybe one day they will. Some of them, and I've said this before too, they'll let me interview them, but they want me to hold on to the interview to post it until after they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I do that. Some of them give me stories about these stolen dogs and this and that. Richard, don't tell nobody until everybody involved in that dog is dead. So I'm going to do that. And it may be after I'm dead. So my family has the same standard. Well, wait, that person's still alive and I'm dead, then my family is going to wait until they're dead, and then they'll put it out there.
I respect that.
I got a bunch of them, man. I'm telling you.
That's good, man. I tell you what, you got a hell of a memory. I couldn't remember half of what you doing now.
I wish I could. I wish I could remember more, because I forget too. I'm getting that way more, but yeah, some stuff it just sticks in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
When you've been here and done that, and you read this stuff over and over, and you talk to these people again and again and again, things like that just stick in your brain. I might not remember what I ate yesterday for breakfast, but I'm going to remember the time and place of a match that happened 40 years ago, and who the opponent was, and what color the dog, who handled them, who refereed, like that. So yeah, I don't know how it happens, but it does. It was on a different show. I forget what it was. Sporting Dog Archive, I think. And me and J-Bo were talking, and just him speaking and asking questions, it reignited the memories in my brain. And man, I started coming out with all kinds of stuff just because of how the conversation was going.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun one too, man.
Who's a dog, man, that's not around anymore? Is this even a relevant topic, right? That just had trash dogs, like couldn't I know some cats like that. I know some dudes like that.
They don't count though, Buck. They don't count, Buck.
So we just don't never talk about them at all.
No, please don't.
We don't talk about nothing trash and nothing else. We don't talk about trash females. We don't talk about trash basketball players. We don't talk about
that's
trash.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
We're gonna get on here.
Some guys won't even talk about their losses. Nah, I don't want to talk about that, Richard. I don't want I don't remember who I lost to this day. It's just out of their mind. It's so embarrassing. And so, but I don't have a problem with it because that's how it goes, you know. And a lot of them, I'll tell them, well, what's your record? I don't know. I don't know how many I did or this or that. I got to tell them because I've done my research, as much as I can. But a lot of times the negative shit, they don't even want to think about it,
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Because there's people in the chat that the same stuff you just said right now. They right there. They right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
This platform right here, I gotta give it to Buck. We got a lot of respect. I've been tagging the magazine places, and people have been asking questions, and they're like, they happy to see something that has lasted the test of time. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to the chat, shout out to the panel. You know what I mean? We got something going.
Well, yeah, if you have a good channel like this one, it's going to draw people that have experience because they have something they can relate to. So even though they're not on here, not a lot, but some of the people have as much experience as anybody else on the panel.
Right.
That's why they're here. They like hearing it, and they'll comment and stuff like that. Yeah.
Because if you look at these chats, man, for the most part, it's rinse and repeat. It's the same people, right?
Yeah.
And so every now and then, it'll tick up. You'll see somebody's numbers tick up, 80, 90, something like that. And that's those people for the most part.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that come in and won't say a word sometimes, but.
Yeah, I get that on my channel too. Yeah. A lot of the old heads will get on there and comment. And some of them are children of these dogmen that have passed away.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, Leander Daigle's or one of the Daigle's sons gets on my channel, comments. Mr. Gray's son comments. Even Bennett Clayton's son comments on there. And they're in my group too. So, they gravitate towards what they like hearing. And like I said, when you see the same people like on this podcast come back over and over and over again, a lot of them have experience. That's why they come here. They can relate to what we're talking about. And I'm sure some of them even have more experience in dogs than I do.
And let me ask a question. No Facebook groups, like I had somebody send me a link. I just refuse to get in one. I don't trust them. From the kind of talk I hear be going on in a lot of groups, man, I just don't want to social. I'll draw the line with YouTube. You know what I mean? Because I can control what coming out of my mouth. But
you're right.
I feel back with that Facebook shit too. That Facebook, I just post and get off, bro. Like, don't get to talking in them motherfuckers, bro. Like, I seen some shit that was so crazy, bro. Like the last 3 days, bro. Bro, I posted some shit and deleted it instantly because I'm like, bro, these folks ain't even worth addressing. Like, bro, I think we all. If you on Facebook, I think we all know what the hell been going on like the last 2-3 days on that motherfucker. Like that shit make me don't even want to get back on there. They so stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you're right. And what I realized that a long time ago when I started my Facebook page. So what I do is I have a set of rules for my group. If you don't follow the rules, I'm going to delete your comment. Mm-hmm. If you keep not following the rules, I'm going to delete you. And I have to monitor it, and I have other people that monitor it. Any stupid shit, any calling weights, any talking shit, any pictures that I don't deem appropriate, I just take them off. And like I said, if they keep doing it, and that's why I have a lot of people in my group, and a lot of the old heads, and a lot of the regular dog men that are younger. That's why they're there, and they tell me this is the only group I go to, schoolboy, because you keep it a buck and you don't allow no bullshit. I don't allow people cussing each other out. I don't allow no pictures or videos of dogs fighting. If it's art, I'll allow that. I don't allow no sale of pups, no stud service, no sale of dogs, nothing.
Right.
And for the most part, they abide by it. And if they don't, I just delete it. I don't even say shit. I don't call their name out. I don't notify them. I don't do nothing. And if they message me afterwards and want to know why this or that, I don't even answer them. I just delete that too. And some people I'll just block. I don't need the bullshit, and I don't want to deal with it. I'm not one of them types. I got too much going on to be going back and forth with this guy. Why, what for? And I just tell him follow the rules.
Well, Richard, this is my thing. The world has changed so dramatically, and people are okay with telling on themselves and telling on you too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's a
crazy
huge thing anymore. Huge. I can't
That's
wrap my head
because
around
people.
it.
That's because these folks really be thinking that like jail is a badge of honor. Like, you know what I mean? Folks be thinking like,
They ain't been there then.
yeah, they ain't been there. Obviously, I mean, of course they ain't been. If somebody been there and they still
right.
acting like that, I'm gonna think they got them wearing a wire or some shit. Like,
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. And believe me, even if somebody has been there and they know what it's like, and they say, "I'll go back to jail." When you get older, you don't want to go back to jail. You don't want to go to prison. What the hell? You fucking 50, 60 years old. And I'm sure there's one or two that have, but most people, it don't matter if you did 15 years, you don't want to go back. So why talk that way when that could get you hemmed up?
exactly.
They think they're protected because it's a private group or WhatsApp, it's encrypted and all that. Don't mean shit. Any law enforcement can follow you, watch you, and they do. And they've told me, they've said in my, commented to me about my group, hey, the Fed's watching you and this and that. I said, yeah, I know. That's why I have the fucking rules. Don't talk crazy. Don't talk stupid. I don't know if there's SPCA in my group. I don't care because it doesn't matter because of the rules I have.
Right.
So if they want to look in. They ain't going to find nothing.
Right. You got to be an adult at the end of the day,
Yep.
Got to be an adult. Yep. You got to know how to conduct yourself. Don't incriminate yourself in these fucking groups, man.
Or anybody else. Because, again, I've said this is not for my protection. I don't have no dogs. It's for the protection of the people in the group. And you never know who's watching because they are watching. So I let them watch.
It's the same thing with anything, man. Like I'm gonna use music as an example. Like these new rappers, they want to go to jail. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. It's like I don't know. It's like something be wrong with their brain where they think that in order to be a man or in order to be respected, I gotta go do some time. Like I think people really think like that.
Yeah, you're right. It's a cultural thing. If everybody's telling you do that, if you a sheep or you're cattle, you go along with it, even if it's against your nature or better. You want to be part of the group. You want clout.
And then on top of that, people will actually celebrate that shit more than actually doing something positive. Like if you do 2 years in prison and come home, your party gonna be bigger than the person who just graduated college in your family.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, that's crazy.
Handle yourself in a professional manner. If you handle yourself like a professional, and you think that when you speak that you're in public speaking, so that anybody that's listening, you don't have a problem with what you say. That's how you should think. So for me,
a lot of these people are just looking for the validation. You know what I mean? And that's
it.
That's what gets everyone in trouble.
Well, a clown is entertaining.
Right.
The clowns, they entertain, and that's what you get when somebody does something like that. They a clown, man. And you entertain. People watch that crap, man.
Mm-hmm.
And also, a lot of times people think that in order to be a legend, you got to go through certain shit because in certain, like it's not even in any particular lane. Like let's just say drug dealers, right? It's like it's almost like niggas would rather go to jail so that everybody know that that's what they was doing. Now they can pop their shit. It's like they want everybody to know, even though it's illegal. Like I want so they can brag about it and become famous for the shit. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that goes to that's why I always tell people go back and listen to all of Buck City's videos and go listen to all of the interviews Mr. Garcia did because I don't know if you remember Mr. Garcia, but you did hunter man. You know, Will got on there and he said big C, but that people don't know if he means little C, orange C, gray C, bleak. You know what I mean? And it's so good how he spoke about you know.
Yeah.
So sometimes we got to salute the people who do come on here and know how to talk and know how to follow the rules.
Right.
You know.
Because if you know who he's talking about, you know it. If you don't, then you're not supposed to know. You know, and if you speak, especially if you're talking graphic shit that we used to do in the past, if you speak about the past, it's not a big deal because all that stuff is all over the place. Anyways, it's in books, it's in magazines. We ain't saying nothing that hasn't been said before.
Right.
But if you're speaking about current stuff, they're gonna come visit you. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, not next month, maybe a year, 2 years. They're going to get you.
Oh yeah, they're
It's a matter of time.
Sure.
Yep, and that's happened too. Old guys that were doing stuff they shouldn't have been doing, they got visited, and then they got to go through this ordeal.
You gotta pay your debt to society, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, then another
And
thing
a lot of times you ain't even doing shit, and they come and visit you.
Turn your
You
cell
know that,
phone
bud.
off.
And
exactly.
go
And then another thing
go
about these
change
niggas
your
on
clothes and
Facebook.
call it a day, bro.
On their Facebook, man, I be sitting back watching, and I be like, bro, some of these folks, they be saying crazy shit, and I be like, bro, you finna get locked up for some trash ass dogs. You ain't even got no good dogs. You gotta get goddamn locked up, you know.
No. And hell,
My
they
thing-
might
my
not
thing
even
is-
have no dogs, just the way
My
they
thing
talk.
is the dudes that they, you know, the puppies will get to scuffling in the cage and then they'll pull out their camera and tape it and shit.
Yeah,
and just,
that's bad.
You know, like dude,
Yeah.
are you trying to break the shit up? Are
Yeah.
you trying to tape the shit? Like I've been I don't understand that,
All
bro,
for
because I've
puppy
never
sales. It's all about puppy
had my
sales. They wanna
puppies
sell
do
you
that,
puppies.
and then the first thing that's on my mind is, oh fuck, let me videotape this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like what
crazy.
are we doing?
Yeah.
They want to
Yeah.
sell some puppies because the
Yeah.
That's
people who don't
crazy
know
shit.
better, the people who don't know
You're
no
right.
better, they're wowed by it. Oh my gosh, just puppies
That's
are
crazy shit.
they're early starters.
Crazy,
okay?
dude. Crazy. And
That
it goes to
that
what you
is
were talking
nuts.
about earlier.
Yeah, I was
It
finna
goes to
say
what
that.
you were talking about earlier, that they think that means the puppy's game or he's a badass. That don't mean shit.
Hey man.
It's just like in school, right? Like if you remember back in school, it'll be somebody in your class that you just think bad as hell because they got bad behavior. Let somebody slap the shit out of them. They be calming down. They be calming down.
Yeah. And if you don't think we're speaking the truth, there was a video about these guys that they had this raccoon in a cage and they let the dog in and it killed the raccoon in the cage. Those people got arrested for doing that.
I saw that. Did they?
Yep,
I saw that.
they did. It was out there.
That's baiting. That's illegal.
Yeah.
I saw that
Cage baiting.
on Instagram. That's what I saw.
Yeah, they're gonna make it a law. It ain't no law now. They're gonna make it a damn law.
Yeah. Yeah.
What y'all talking about? What law?
Baiting animals.
Cage baiting.
Killing animals.
Yep.
Yeah. Cage bait.
Oh, okay.
Well,
That's not a law already.
Those hog catches. What was that? Uncle Willie, or what was his name? Had that big event where he would let people bring their bulldog out to catch the hog. They stopped that. What was that guy's name? Way back in the day, Uncle Willie's or something. You can't do that with hogs no more in this country. Not just
Right.
You can't hunt hogs.
making an event out of it.
Oh, make an event. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a big event, man. People bring their dogs.
Well, in California, you can't hunt hogs and stab them with a knife. You have to shoot them. So it just keeps progressing like that.
In Minnesota, our DNR laws, you can like say if you're on one of the trails or whatever, and like a timber wolf or a badger come out or whatever, you're allowed to release your dog. You know what I mean? If you have a trail animal, and we call it trail rated up here. So sometimes if you go look at the rules, look at your go to your DNR, go to your local, where you got to go get your licenses and see how it is, so you can kind of tell, what you can get away with and what you can't. You know.
Right. So because you're doing something don't mean you have to show the whole world, which is different from talking about it. You can talk about it, but don't put it on video.
Yeah, that was wild.
You don't have to say my pups fight at 6 weeks old. You can say, hey, my dogs, my pups are hot. That's it. People know what you mean.
Man,
But
if you got
when
a
you
good
start
looking dog,
videoing it, you're
Yeah,
in
that
trouble.
hot shit, man. They be on that too, man. They be,
Yeah.
they'll be
but
like, yeah, he said his puppies were hot, and that means that dude, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you gotta watch it, dog. With these dogs,
Yeah.
you gotta watch it, bro. You do.
Yeah.
It's
I
real
ain't gonna lie.
dicey,
It's,
bro.
if you want to get attention on the internet off your dogs without harmlessly, if you want to harmlessly do it, this is what you do. Go get you the most current iPhone you can afford and take some good ass pictures and post them shits, bro. And take some videos of your dog barking. That shit harmless, and people will look at you, look at your page, look at your dogs. You'll get the same shit that you're trying to get from putting out all that negative shit. I
Exactly.
mean, you know what I mean?
Hey,
Yeah.
You ain't got.
that's a game of the day right there. You know,
Yep.
you don't gotta post that bullshit, man. People just like seeing that you got healthy dogs. Your dog's healthy all the time. I see him
Yeah.
all year. That motherfucker's healthy all the time. I can respect that over somebody that want to pull their phone out, and fucking film some fucking 6-week-old puppies going head
Yeah.
up.
Right. Shit, I'm
If you got
and I ain't capping. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all real shit. Like, I got in the last in 2024, I got 1.8 million views on TikTok, and I ain't post shit crazy. I ain't never got flagged. All I did was post pictures and videos of my dogs barking, bro, and post shit from the confirmation shows, and I got 1.8 million views on TikTok in the last 365 days.
and you're safe. You don't
Right.
have to worry about nothing.
Exactly.
If you got good dogs, word of mouth still gets around. Somebody's gonna tell somebody.
That's
Somebody
right.
who got a dog from you
There you
that
go.
likes it and it's good, they're gonna tell somebody else.
Yeah, you ain't got to be
So
out
you
here.
don't
That's
no,
right.
you don't gotta be out here acting stupid.
No.
If I had dogs, and I've said this before too, if I had pups and I'm selling you a pup, I'm gonna give you the pedigree. You're gonna get a healthy pup that's dewormed. And if it's a little bit older, he's going to have some kind of training. He'll work a treadmill or he'll work a spring pull or whatever. And that's it. And if you want them, buy them. If you don't matter to me. You don't got to be out there saying a bunch of crazy shit and showing a bunch of stupid shit that's going to get you hemmed up.
That's right. Because you can't guarantee a pup no way.
No way. Nothing. And I wouldn't.
Exactly.
Believe me, I
Good
never
health,
did.
good breeding. That's much as you can do.
That's
And
it.
you could tell when somebody ain't never got in no trouble. Like, I've been in trouble, never for this, but I never been in trouble for dog, but I've been in trouble, and I know that I don't want to be in trouble because that shit expensive. So I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
I
Oh
couldn't
my
imagine.
god. What did he say? Whoa,
Bro,
man.
I paid
Expensive.
20,000 lawyer, goddamn thousands in bond money, and then that ain't even involving no dog. So now imagine if I got to bond out, I got to get a lawyer, and I got to bond my dogs out.
if
Come
you
Well,
on
can.
now.
Well,
If you
well,
can.
and some of us are crazy.
I have been busted twice for dogs, and this was last time was 95.
Uh-huh.
So that cost me, those two times together cost me $60,000
See,
Exactly.
back then.
And you ain't trying to do that shit no more, is you?
Hell no,
Yeah.
never again. So I'm real
Exactly.
careful what I say and do and how I post stuff, what I talk about.
that's right.
It ain't fun, man.
Man, I look at it like, when you come from a certain background, you come from a certain place, you don't nobody got to tell you this shit. You know what I mean? Like, don't
Yeah,
nobody had to tell me this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's just if somebody got to tell you this ain't where you from. This ain't where you come
yeah,
from.
yeah,
You know what I mean? That's what I like. So I don't even say shit to them people. Just like you said on Facebook, you ignore them. They ask you a question, you ignore them again. But if you don't know, I'm not telling you. I got a song. I used to rap. I got a song like that. Like, if you don't know, you ain't supposed to know. That's the whole
right.
hook.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
But hey, man, I'm about to get. I've been in here walking around with a damn sheetrock knife in my hand the whole time, doing no work. So I got to go down.
Get at it.
All
Get
right,
at it.
brother.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna listen. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Take care.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I used to hang sheetrock too. It's hard work. Much respect.
Good old fellowship. Get the magazine, y'all. Hey, you know, we putting in work. That's what I heard. Let's
Hey
get it.
Buck, I hope you don't mind. I be tagging every live I can with the stripe. You know what I'm saying? Every time I go in
Man,
from
I'm
there.
about to go hit the tree huggers and everything. You know, all them videos that they was trolling and saying kill them and bury them under the jail, and you know, I'm going right up under them comments. I'm personally posting the link to them motherfuckers. So it is what it is, man. I love it, man. Post it everywhere. That's what it do. You know, if it was your shit, I post it too. You know, I put it on here. I get some eyes on it. You know,
Word
I ain't
up.
no hater,
Yeah.
man.
History in the making.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta get back to it too. You guys should already know, but I'm watching, I'm listening. Y'all stay up, ABPT Radio, Buck City. Go get at it. Get at it. Get at it,
Hey,
chat. Get at it.
Peace,
I'll holler at
brother.
y'all.
peace,
Peace.
brother. Let me see. Constant pressure, man. We had a question earlier. Putting weight on. I don't know if you was here for that. Where'd he go? You still there?
He's still here. He might have dipped for a minute, but he's still here.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Mike Dan?
I just increased the dog's feed and his fat content, you know,
Yeah.
protein and stuff. You know, I mean, it's pretty easy to, you know, like some dogs are real active all the time. They're on their feet. You know what I mean? Every dog ain't the same. And some dogs you have to feed a little more than you do the others on your yard, you know, because they just run all day. They on their feet. That's just what they do. I don't have no problem putting no weight on the dog because it gets cold here. You know, last year it got to 22 below.
Wow.
And I brought them in that night, you know, but because I ain't got but a couple dogs. I'm an old man, ain't got no dog, never will at this point. But I'm gonna tell you something else. That dime puts weight on a dog. I don't know what it is, but I give it to puppies, man. And man, it keeps them chunky. So it's easy to put weight on a dog. You just got to increase certain things in your feed. You know, like I changed my beef, fat content in my beef when I give it to them throughout the year. Like this time of year, I'll give them a 73-27 with the 27 fat content. During the warmer months, I give them an 80. So
Yeah.
I do it like that. Just, you know, because of the change of the weather and increasing the fat content. So, and they do well. It don't bother them. You know.
Yeah, it's that simple.
Yeah. You know, and I add a little broth or something in there during the winter. I give them something warm because a dog won't drink much water, and they'll get you'll notice their coat gets dry, get that little shape and looks like dandruff or something. So
Yeah.
it's good to add some kind of liquid in there in their
Yeah.
feed in the wintertime.
Yeah, warm liquid.
That's right.
Liquid, they'll eat it up. Yeah, I did the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen people do them automatic feeders, man. You know, that's for probably extreme measurements, but for some of those dogs, man, they just depending on what you doing, or you know, like some dudes they drive trucks, you know what I'm saying, or different, you know, they might not physically be there all the time to feed the dog.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times that plays a huge role. Like the dog's water supply, you know, is going to be the key factor, and how the dog's eating what it's eating off of is going to be the key factors to those parasites. So that goddamn hookworm is running around dropping motherfuckers right now. People, you know, they got, you know, they thinking it's round worms and, you know, all this other stuff. And right in front of your nose, you got this mutated hookworm murking your shit. You know what I'm saying? So you really gotta pay attention. And then
That's
when
right.
I think if they get down like that, you know, you might need that automatic feeder, you know, let them eat up for probably a couple days straight. And then after a while, the dog should slow down. You know, he shouldn't be so hungry. Like he probably just go over there, get a couple kibbles and drink some fresh water. I think the fresh water part, we don't put enough on, you know. I mean, everybody will say that. Everybody I talk to, they say that they do everything that I advise them to do.
Right.
It's like, well, then why the fuck did you call me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it got to be something you're doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just take it all in. I like that wheat germ oil blend just for, it's kind of cheap. I think it's like $20 for a gallon. And you can got the little foil top, you know, poke a couple holes in the top and, you know, just sprinkle it over the kibble. It's got a bunch of shit in there, a lot of different stuff for the coat and, you know, just overall vitamin E and, you know, different things. So because that, a lot of those kibbles, that shit's like fast food, bro, because it gets burnt down to where all the nutrients is kind of out of it. So, you know, at that point, you need, I wouldn't say raw, but you're going to need something with a little bit more nutrients in it, you know, to get them back. You know, maybe go get some fucking hamburger meat. Maybe give them some scraps up out the fridge. You know, he gonna need a little something to trigger those cells, you know, to feed, not only to fill them, but to feed them, you know, mentally, you know, all that, you know, his immune system. Like you got to feed all of that on your dog from time to time. So maybe give him some
It
raw
really,
hasn't
it
been
really
cooked
don't
down.
cost a lot. It really don't
Right.
cost a lot because you're giving them the scraps that you're going to throw away anyway. Don't throw them away. Give them to your dog. If you trim your meat, some people don't like the skin of the chicken and all that. Give it to your dogs. It's not an extra
Exactly.
cost. It's garbage you're going to throw away.
That's right.
Right.
And when you research kibble, you should research at what temperature do they cook the kibble.
Right.
And then you need a kibble where they add the vitamins and all that stuff after it's cooked. It has to be added afterward because, like you said, they cook it down so you know it's hard and all that. And they cook a lot of the stuff out of it. So that's the problem with a lot of these kibble.
They're
They
baking
just
that shit. That shit's hot.
Yeah,
They're baking that
right.
shit.
Yeah.
I had an article.
So
It didn't make the magazine, but I got an article about that, about, you know, the process of making kibble. You know, it didn't make the mag though, but I still got the article.
Next time. Yeah, put it in one, you know.
Hey, Richard, let me tell you what I got on top of my refrigerator. And you're going to remember this. Dog bloom. You know,
there you go.
Talk about that no more.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
stuff right
that's
there.
what I advise when people ask me.
Yeah.
There's two that I would use today, Dog Bloom and another one called Genesis.
Yeah.
Now, Genesis, some people don't like it because it's a pork product.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they used to say pork is bad, this and that, lard is not good for you. Now they're coming out saying, oh, there's a lot of nutrients in lard. You should use butter instead of margarine. You should use lard instead of vegetable oil. So, you know, you got to really do your research.
That's
and
right.
It just changes with whoever putting the narrative out. Whatever they want you to sell, whatever they want to sell, you know, that's the information they'll give you. This is the best shit, and the other shit you used to eat, that ain't no good.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come along and change it back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, margarine ain't no good, man.
I feed my puppies good, all they want. You know, I use their goat's milk. I do all that.
Yep.
Up to a year of age, man, I'm really serious about what I give a puppy, man. You know, I love
Yeah.
a fat, healthy puppy. You
Yeah.
know,
That's the most important time. That's when
that's
they
right.
need all that nutrition for growth,
That's right. It's the growing
mental
pup.
growth too. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot you can do,
Oh
but
yeah,
don't just take what someone says at face value. You know, I'd say that about myself. Don't just believe what I say. Test it.
that's right.
May not work for you. And don't matter if it's food, conditioning, housing, whatever it is. My housing wouldn't work in the Northeast because you got to have insulated houses and you got to have certain type of bedding and all that shit. So where I live is different. So you got to figure out what's good for you and what's good for your dogs.
Yep. All
Yes,
comes with
sir.
try it yourself. That's the best thing you could say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's gonna
put
be a
time into my feed, man. I don't just throw it in the bowl and sit it on the ground. You know,
yeah.
even the beef that I give them, when I break it up into smaller, portions, because I don't just bottle it up and throw it in there and some kibble on top of it. Whatever else I'm giving them, I break it up.
Ah,
Digestive
yeah.
process
That's
is
a good point.
hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially in keep. So in keep, I want my dogs emptying out at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm feeding them big chunks of food, it's going to take longer for it to process.
Absolutely.
So you can time your feed to emptying out, and it's easier to do that if it's cut up because they'll digest it on time. And that's the difference. Like wild animals, they gorge themselves. That's why a wolf can go 2 weeks without eating because they gorge themselves 20, 30 pounds, whatever it is, and they're big chunks. So it's a slower digestive process.
Mm-hmm.
So they have food days later still in their belly, whole food. Well, in keep, I can't do that with my dog. I need them emptying out on time. So you just cut it up. And even my buddy who fed his keep was raw. He would take everything that he was feeding them and cut it up into small chunks, small pieces. And the dog would empty out on time.
It
So it's
can,
all what you're doing and how you doing it like that. It's good for dogs to have bones and they give them, meat and all that raw or whatever. But in keep, I wouldn't do that. I'd cut it up because it's going to throw the digestive process off.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah, cutting it up's gonna help them not drop that shit on the ground too. I hate I
Yeah.
hate my dog eating
Yeah.
off the ground,
Yeah.
bro. I swear.
Hmm.
I want the bowls to be clean. I want the food to be eaten out of the bowl, even pups and everything. Like even when I got my little puppy pen is it's big enough, pups running around so they're not stepping in their own shit. It's way, you got enough time to maneuver, go back in there, clean it up. When I feed them, or even when the mother's in there, let's say the mother's in there, I don't just fill up the bowl. I put a little bit in there fucking 8 times a fucking day if I got to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's just less germs and waste and bullshit. You wet the feed, it's gonna get wet. That it's activating, right? Once it gets wet, it's activating for bacteria. You got to understand that. So if they're not going to eat it all right there and it's wet and it's sitting there, that's just like some shit sitting on your counter to get salmonella and all this stuff,
That's right.
and we
You're
going to heat
right.
it back up. It get cold, we heat it back up so we be all right. But they're not. They're going to eat that shit and we could say, "Oh, it's a dog," and all of this. Man, preventative measurements, man.
That's
Yeah,
right,
they could
man.
probably
Flies,
handle it.
birds,
They're not
everything.
gonna show you that they sick. They still gonna jump and run fast. You're not gonna notice that they sick, but
That's
you,
right.
you don't want to just dodge bullets and shit for a living, man. It's just like, come on. At some point, you got to use some type of preventative measurements.
You're right. You're right.
Man, them vet bills, vets nowadays, man, are insane. Like, man,
Like people, man. Like people. Like even my vet, he changed just a visit, a freaking visit to the vet, not even diagnosis, none of that shit. It's
Yeah.
$300.
See, come on, man.
Come on,
Woo.
dude.
Yeah, it's different.
Even back in the day, before I learned how to combat parvo myself, I took one dog into the vet. He stayed there 2 days. It cost me $1,400,
Yeah, yeah,
and that was 40 years ago. So I don't know what would it cost. $5,000, $2,000. You know, I
right,
don't know. Shit.
right. Yeah, it's deep, man.
And
I try to do all I can. Preventative measures, man, like Buck was talking about. You know, take the time,
Yeah,
to right things by your animals, man.
yeah,
On
yeah.
all.
You have to. You have to. And if you have livestock, you have to do that because you can't call a vet out to your ranch every time there's some ailment. It would cost you a fortune. You wouldn't make no. We go broke.
Mm-hmm.
So we learned to do that when we were with the cattle. Every season, you castrate your bulls, right? And then you have your older cattle. So we used to castrate the young ones. We give them their shot. We dehorn them, and you cut their ear. You put every ranch usually has a type of cut on their ear. It could be a triangle. It could be a straight slice on the tip. It could be towards the back to mark your cattle. Plus, you brand them. So we used to do that every season. Put them in a squeeze. It's called a squeeze. You put them up there. Do everything all at once. Cut the horns. Give them their shot. Brand them. You know, like that.
Right.
So if you had vets doing that, you wouldn't make no money. You go broke.
That's right.
So it's kind of like with the dogs. You got to learn to do as much as you can. Buy the shots. Learn how to administer the shots. You know, you get the stuff for Giardia. Get the proper food. Buy your own housing. Make your own houses. Whatever you need to do. If you have an outside professional to do it, you wouldn't be able to pay your house bill.
That's right. That's the truth.
yeah, they don't understand that. You know, they think that just because you don't have vet certificates and all this stuff, receipts from the vet, that you obviously doing something wrong with your dogs. That's the narrative
Yeah,
that they try to push.
yeah, yeah. Well, when I was young, we hardly went to the doctor. We got sick. My grandma took care of us. She had remedies for this, plants for that. It's just the way you did things, and they work. A lot of it is a lot of the medicine is derived from the shit she used to give us natural, different plants, and sometimes it's simple like mint, teas, and tinctures, all kinds of stuff for toothaches, and use cloves, shit like that. Painkillers, burns, you got to burn, you use aloe vera. So it's the same with dogs. You can't do everything, and if it's something you don't know what the hell it is, take them in. Don't not take them to the vet
Right.
and wait too long. So if they need it, take them in, but not for every little thing. You don't have to do that.
That's right, Vernon. Keep good records, man. It's important.
Hmm. Write everything down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Schoolboy, he emphasizes that a lot. You got to keep records of stuff, man. You just do.
Yeah. And hey, you never know. When you get older, you might want to write a book about it. Now you have all these notes you can refer to, or just put an article out. It helps others. But I used to everything: the size of the pups, their color, schooling, what they did, how long, all my shows. Their temperament, behavior, which ones learned to do this, how this one worked, everything. And I have at least 100 notebooks with all that stuff in.
That's good, man. It's critical.
Yeah.
Documentation.
Yep. And it along with it has family traits in there, so you can look back and say, Okay, this pup acts like his grandpa did when he was 6 months old. This bitch, she does this when she whelps her pups.
Mm-hmm.
He teaches them this. She does that. Feeds them every 2 hours or every 3 hours, whatever it is. You just monitor your dog like that because that's what other industries do. Finite, fucking, uh, uh, little things, and they keep records of it and they enter it in a computer. They use it for reference, so they have millions of data, tidbits, information to monitor their stock. How much milk does this cow produce? And this line of cattle, when do their production rate, when does it drop?
Mm-hmm.
So they
Hey,
know
what,
when it gets about that time, they send it to market. Now this is going to be for food, and they're not losing money.
Hey, what's going on, man? I had to pop back in right quick, man. I can't never get no work done with people talking bulldogs, man. Like, but I had something I wanted to add to this, like because like you talking about the maintenance and like problems that you may have with your dog and staying on top of them and deciding whether you can take care of it yourself or you need to take it to the vet. And another thing, um, I want to add to that. Another thing that's important, like in certain places wherever you live, they might have certain laws on things that you got to do with your dog. Like you got to have certain certificates. Like what Buck was saying, they'll criminalize you if you don't have receipts for certain things. So I always tell people, especially when we dealing with this breed, because this breed gets put in a bad light so much, and people just judge you for no reason. You got to look at them laws wherever you, if you wherever you live, pull up them laws and learn them shits. You know what I'm saying? Because like I
Yeah.
learned, I gotta have where I'm at. I gotta have real deal rabies. Like I gotta have real deal rabies proof, like proof that you know what I mean. That I
Yeah.
got rabies
Yeah.
shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you don't study the laws, you might not know that shit. And then you could be doing something innocent and they come and visit you and just by some little simple shit like that, now you fucked up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
So
Because
you
I don't
gotta
I don't think you can buy rabies over the counter or order
Not
it.
no
I don't
more,
think that's
Richard.
allowed. Yeah.
Not
no,
no
you can't.
more.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I had to
Yeah.
jump back in here. I just wanted to add that because I'm big on that shit, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie. I got where I live at right now. I got the law book on animals in my phone. So that
There you go.
I know what's up. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I just wanted to say that to everybody because that's just really important. That you know what I
No,
mean?
you're right. You're
Yeah,
right. And you have to stay on top of it because some of the rules change over time.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Before you could do this, now you can't do it no more.
Facts.
Like
Yeah.
in my area in town, you're only allowed so many dogs. If you live in the county, there's no limit. And you don't
Mm-hmm.
even have to have your dogs penned up, tied up. They can
Mm-hmm.
run loose. They can't do shit about it because we're agriculture and hunting community.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't go call the dog catcher because this dog's running loose out in the country. They won't do shit about it. It's allowed. Don't matter what kind of dog it is. And
Mm-hmm.
there's no limit on the number of animals you keep except cattle and horses. They need a certain amount of space. So you have to have a certain amount of acres for cattle and horses. But
Mm-hmm.
even
Right.
in town here, you can have goats, you can have pigs, chickens in the city limits, but you can't have horses or cattle.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times them rules change. You got to keep it's smart that you have that in your phone. You can look it up and keep
Yeah.
on top of it.
Yeah, because I also like just even stuff like little paperwork stuff that you might have to do with the state that you in. Like me in Georgia, like if I'm gonna have a certain amount of dogs, now I gotta be registered as a kennel business. You know what I'm saying? Or else
Yeah,
what I'm
right.
doing is illegal. Like you gotta stay on top of that shit. So if
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, you just gotta just I'm basically what I'm saying is just like pay attention to what's going on where you live as far as the laws when it comes to these dogs because
yeah,
we all know
yeah.
how people treat you just for having these. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
well, well, some
Sure.
places, even though they don't have the bans anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
they have insurance requirement. You know,
Mm.
you have to have a
Okay.
certain amount of insurance, but just
Okay.
because you own that dog, it could be one. But so
Right.
you're absolutely right. You got to keep up and know what's going on, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then when you have that kennel, there's certain rules for the kennel, right?
Yeah. There's certain rules for that too. Like where I'm at, I gotta have all right. So for every one of my dogs, I got a change spot and a kennel. You know what I mean? And
Right.
because I got to do it that way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think chains are totally illegal, but you can't leave it on that shit forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to. They can only be in some places. They can only be on the chain for 2 hours a day.
Exactly. So
Yeah, like
I
that,
pay attention to stuff like that too. You know what I mean? But that's the kind of rules they talking about, and then they be having rules like for aggressive breeds and things like that. So it just all that goes into how you put your dogs in a light on the internet and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah,
Good info.
like aggressive, like I like my dogs to be real submissive to people. You feel me? So God forbid if some shit was to happen and they want to see my dogs or something, they won't be trying to kill them. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like they gonna
won't be trying to bite them. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. You know what I mean? But that's all I had, man. I just wanted to jump in and just throw that out there because I think that type of stuff is really important. Like even both aspects, the aspect that y'all were talking about already, and even just the staying out of trouble aspect too. You know what I mean?
That's right. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Right.
Thanks for sharing.
Salute y'all, brothers, man. All right.
Peace.
Yeah.
I finally got some sun today. I might get out here and walk the dogs. Old man needs some exercise.
Yeah.
It's been raining so much, man.
Yeah, it been raining, man. It's been raining.
Yeah,
You
here
just gotta
too.
get in it, man. Get on in it.
Yeah, I need it.
Once you get in the habit of getting in it, hey, you got it.
Right.
Yeah, and that dog, walking that dog, he keeps you going, you know.
Oh,
You walk twice the distance walking that dog
I mean,
by
they're my
yourself.
exercise now, Rich. I mean, they keep me going, you know.
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
didn't have them, I wouldn't have. What do I do? Go to a doctor appointment or a grocery
Yeah.
store? I'm not hanging out no more, you know.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I do. You know, I got a doctor appointment, go grocery store. I gotta force myself to exercise, you know. With a dog, it'd be a lot easier.
Oh yeah, it motivates me. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate the invite, Buck. Rich, it's always a good time talking to you.
Oh yeah,
Always,
nah,
brother.
appreciate
Thanks for
you,
coming
Mike
on.
Dan.
Yeah,
That's good people, man. My man, Mike Dan.
yeah, I try. I'll see you guys later. Appreciate it.
All right. Peace. Yeah, I got to scoot too, Buck. I got some stuff I didn't take care of. I saw the notice, but I wanted to come on here. It's always a good time, man. Thanks for having me on.
Nah, appreciate you, cool boy. Appreciate
Salute
you.
to the chat. Salute to the panel.
All the good
Thank you, brother. I'm
content.
out.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Constant pressure. Constant pressure. He out of there. Salute everybody that pulled up. Hey, we hit the 3-hour mark, just chopping it up. It's always a good time, you know, no matter the topic or the derailment. You dig? I think it's healthy dialogue, you know. You can't beat healthy dialogue. Salute everybody. Vernon Star in the building. Salute. J83 bank statement. Salute everybody that pulled up. Akeem Jackson, salute. He said, "Is that Bailey's blood still alive?" Yeah, man, they got a lot of that. You talking about Brian Bailey with the Bailey's bingo blood and all that shit? Yeah, that blood's around. Still around. I like those dogs. I like those dogs a lot. Them red boy dogs. Yes, sir. I appreciate everybody that pulled up. Pyrex Taylor, I see you, brother. I see you. William Torres, what up? Hey, cop that magazine. Text that link. We make it easy as possible, man. Text that number right there. I'll send you any information you need, and you know we can figure it out. We can figure this thing out. Jay in the building. Appreciate you, brother, for posting them links. We need that. That's community shit right there. Chuck Spears in the building. Salute. I think Oregon Grower 75 in the building. Salute. Native Gold in the building. I see you. All the usual suspects. Melee, Melvin Brown, RPG Lone Wolf. Salute everybody. Woodway Kennel. Salute. Bub Johnson in the building. Salute my brother. What's that? Deshae Carter. Breadwinners Kennels. Oh, that's dope. I like that. Pitwise, what up? Larry Ross, what up? Supreme, what up? Salute everybody. Optimize, what up? Salute everybody that still tap in. Trackside, what up? We working. It's nothing but work. Itchy, salute with the show sponsor. Sponsor 2 mags to whoever. We got those mags going out. We're going to hit this post office. Get it in. Salute everybody. Appreciate all the support making this possible. Hold up. There was somebody else. I ain't going to see. I don't know. It says Peaches 2400. Hey, appreciate you with the magazine purchase. Appreciate you, my brother. Everything is good. Everything is good in the hood. You dig?
I never knew that I would do numbers like this. I make a move. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose.
See. You guys, let me see. What else we got? Yeah. Hey. You know what it is. We're gonna get it. Wayne Moon in the building. Salute everybody. Make sure you hit that like button, double tap that screen, all of that. Support the channel. Go check out some of the other videos. Double tap on them joints. Go back. Do your housekeeping, man. We got to keep the real. We know how this shit go, man. Like, you could be anybody in this shit, man. You could be a snitch. You could be, and shit. It ain't too many real ones left. So you definitely got to support the real, man. It's a real movement. Yeah, man. That's what's up. Wake and bake. This is 11. See y'all on the next one. See y'all on the next one.
I'm stressing now for a blessing now. Making guessing now. It's depressing right now. I'm built for hard times. Darkest days I'ma shine. I'ma climb to the top and I'ma be just stressing now for a blessing now. Making guessing now. It's depressing right now. I'm built for hard times. Darkest days I'ma shine. I'ma climb to the top and I'ma be just fine. Fine. I'ma be fine. Just fine. I'ma be fine, little bitch. I'ma get my shit in line, little bitch. Hey, 1B, don't cry for shit. Put my life on the line. Minor setback for a major comeback. Like selling A1 soft, make them come back. And all the bitches that left me, they can't come back. 11 nigga, I ain't dry like I'm a bum guy. Bitch, I don't backtrack. Bitches pay back. And I'ma fall back. Oh, I'm the quarterback. And I can't go back. Give me quarterback. So when a nigga get these backs up, I ain't holding back. I'm stressing now for a blessing now. Making guessing now. It's depressing right now. I'm built for hard times. Darkest days, I'm I'ma shine. I'ma climb to the top, and I'ma be just dressing now for a blessing now. They be guessing now, it's the best right now. I'm built for hard times, darkest days, I'ma shine. I'ma climb to the top, and I'ma be just fine.